Well, Michelle, you don't have them on. Oh, she's putting them on now. Well,
What?
how do they feel?
Much better than those things.
So they feel a little better to you?
Yeah, hopefully they're not going to give me a headache.
Oh, you're very low. I can't hear you.
I said hopefully they're not going to give me a headache.
All right. So Michelle's got her brand new headphones on. I think this gig is wearing thin on Michelle. I don't think she's much longer for the show.
No.
And of course, just like our studio that never gets built down the hall, the permanent replacement, man, that's just fallen into the black hole.
Yeah. He's wearing thin for a lot of people.
I don't know. Fester's got 1 foot out the door,
Yeah. I've had 1 foot out the door since day one.
Yeah.
That you have.
I've always been 1 foot.
I know,
Listen, I
Fester.
make no bones about it. I'm a week-to-week employee. Let's be glad I'm here this week.
I'm eyeing the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm contract expires end of the year. I'm eyeing that as a possible. Listen, we've brought the show back to number one several months already this year. It's
Mission accomplished. Let's go.
It's
Out on a high.
It's kind of full circle for me. Great success with the MJ Morning Show, and then we were number one in the market last month. We were number one in January. I think February we were 2 or 3. May numbers for last month, May will be out shortly, and we've had a bunch of Nielsen rated number one weeks in May. So, fingers crossed. So, the fact that we've brought the MJ Morning Show back to number one, in many instances, it's kind of, like I said, full circle. It's kind of mission accomplished, and ride out my contract runs to the end of the year, and maybe that's just a good time, to just scuba dive. Yeah, sell the house. Yeah. Michelle wants to move to Pennsylvania.
I want you to move to Pennsylvania.
Not me, Fester.
Well, maybe it gives me somebody to visit up there.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
you like that Hershey Highway and that RV thing. You go up there all the time.
Well, I'm a big fan of the Hershey Highway, regardless of what I do. However, you have a nice place. You put a little Fester-in-law suite in the back.
Oh, yeah.
I'll come by and visit.
Fester-in-law?
Yeah, a little Fester-in-law.
What the hell's that?
I love it.
Hey, did you email me something in your prep sheet? You sent me a couple of stories last night. Was there something that you wanted to bring up? For whatever reason, I got to look back at your email. Thought maybe there was something in particular that you wanted to
know.
So, Michelle, how do the new headphones feel? They've been on your head now for 2 minutes and 46 seconds.
Much better. They're not, like a clamp, like a vice clamp on my head. See, I don't think I'm going to get a migraine today.
I love the headphones I wear, and I've talked about these old school COS Pro 4 AA's.
Look,
you can get they list for like $115 or $119. You can get them on Amazon for like $79.99. And these things are out of they were designed, I think, in the late 60s, early 70s.
It looks it.
And they have a sound and the frequency range and the seal around my ears that I like, because you hear nothing really on the outside. It's all on the inside. And I just love these headphones. And I've been wearing them since I got into radio in, early 80s. I was 16 years old. My first gig was at 16 at a little radio station called WCPK in Chesapeake, Virginia, a little AM station, top of the dial, 1600. It was a daytime station, meaning that it only broadcast from sun up to sundown. And I've been wearing these headphones since the very, very beginning. So 43 years.
We're going to bury you with a pair of those.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fine. Toss a set in. Well, I want to be cremated. I've told Michelle, no, I don't want to be tossed in the ground. Make sure
Fester?
that and then I want my ashes scattered at my favorite scuba diving destinations.
What's going to be my last act of defiance in this relationship?
You know what? I mean, don't say that just yet, Michelle, because I've planned a spectacular turkey fryer funeral for this guy.
Awesome.
I'm going to be put into an old Gonzalez plumbing decommissioned plumbing van.
No,
and then
there's no more fitting a tribute.
Lit on fire next to a turkey fryer.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, my God.
All right.
So anyway, I was saying that I love my old school headphones. Michelle didn't like them. I gave Michelle a pair of, if you're watching MJTV, you can see my headphones. And Michelle's been wearing these since, she was, hanging out on the show since, late January. And she hates these things. They're comfortable to me. They don't bother me in the least. But Michelle said it was like having her head in a vice, and she would walk away from the show every day with a migraine. So I found her some new headphones, and I was going to get her those Sonys that everyone wears, the MDR, whatever they are. And then Julian's like, I don't like those. They use those at school and at film school. I hate those. So I got Michelle a set of Sennheiser 280s. So hopefully, Michelle, your headphones will not give you a migraine, and you'll stay on the show as a fill-in temp. You're like a temp. Like
yeah.
Pro temps? I did that once before.
Michelle did? You worked for a temp service.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I moved to West Palm Beach and Michelle and I got engaged, Michelle, left Virginia. Once we got engaged, Michelle moved to Florida, and I was over in West Palm Beach doing the MJ Morning Show over there before I was hired by the Powered Pig in early 1994, and Michelle got a gig at a temp service.
You're talking about your career being full circle.
Yeah.
Bringing the MJ Morning Show back to number one. Her career, full circle, temp service, and a temp employee now.
It's exactly.
Wow.
That's sort of what I was getting at.
I know. It's kind of clicked.
And what temp jobs did you do as a temporary worker?
Oh, those were the most fun jobs because you just go in for the day. You take like a bag of books or magazines. You're not expected to really work. It's just like answering the phone or maybe like do a little bit of typing or whatever.
Didn't you work for a couple of companies that wanted to hire you full time?
Yeah, the last one I did, the hospital, they wanted me, literally called me the day we came over. And they were like, so they want to hire you, and this is going to be your, salary. And I said, oh, I can't do that because I'm moving. They were like, but wait. And then they were like trying to convince me to stay and take the job. And I was like,
no, my husband is moving to
my fiance.
My fiance is moving to Tampa. I'm going with him. I'm not staying here to get a job at a hospital because you know what? You showed up as a pretty competent individual. And I'm not saying that, folks that work for temporary services aren't competent. There are plenty that are, but I'm sure there are some real winners.
Well, no, they had sent me in to save the account. That's what it was, because they were about to lose the account.
Because the previous temps were terrible.
Right.
So that's right. They sent over a bunch of previous temp workers from this temp agency.
No shows
and they were awful. They were terrible. They send Michelle in, and Michelle blows them away. Michelle's about to finish school and become an accountant with a USF degree. Then she's about to go on to law school and get a 3-year law degree at Stetson. And so she goes in before all that as a temp to save the account. You save the account. Oh, my God. Do you remember what hospital it was?
It was some hospital over in West Palm.
Was it St. Mary's or was it Kennedy?
Oh, no, I think it was St. Mary's.
St. Mary's. Oh, yeah. Okay, St. Mary's.
Little office with 2 little girls. It was so fun.
So Michelle sent in to save the day. Wow, they sent the temp worker. That's fantastic. And now we're going to place you there permanently.
Yeah.
And Michelle's like, nope, moving to Tampa. My son, my fiance just took a new radio job.
They were not happy.
Tell you what, Michelle, you could have been running that hospital by now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you'd be the administrator.
Right.
And, those hospital administrators, they rake it in.
They do, don't they?
Those hospital administrators make $1 million a year.
Yeah.
That's why a Band-Aid is $38. Seriously. All right. Just getting rolling. You never know what I got a little message. A dude driving a rock hauler driving a little too fast on 275 on the bridge this morning. Going so fast he was out of his lanes. 275 South, where you get onto the bridge, right on the Tampa side of the Howard Franklin. This is 275 South, and you get the twisty turnies for about a half a mile.
Yeah.
This rock hauler guy was driving so damn fast that he was out of his lines. Should a rock hauler be going through twisty and turnies at 81 miles an hour? No. All right. So how do I know that? Because once we were out of the twisty turnies, I did speed up to clock him to see about how fast he was going, and I was able to pull alongside the rear of the trailer at 81 miles an hour. So I would just suggest, and I did make a note of the particular rock hauler line. Florida Truckers Corporation, Tampa, Florida, U.S. Department of Transportation number 249. Anyway, so Florida Truckers Corporation, I would suggest whoever was driving the rock hauler at 81 miles an hour, southbound Howard Franklin this morning at about 5:20 or so, I would slow down because that's just itching for an overturned rock hauler blocking rush hour traffic for 3 hours. You know, as the rock haulers spread along 4 lanes of traffic, flipped over. Fester, do you think a rock hauler should be doing 81 miles an hour through the turns on the Howard Franklin?
Seems a little speedy.
A little excessive.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit excessive. They're going to have to hire a temp worker to fill that job once the guy flips the rock hauler over. All right, call Michelle. She'll do that next. She'll drive a rock hauler. All right, 6:11 MJ Morning Show, Q105. Just getting rolling on a Monday. And, of course, the humongous story. Fester, you know about my suspended license?
I saw your video yesterday.
Hang on. For those that don't know about my suspended driver's license, I'll tell you next. Hang on a minute.
Good morning. We're already starting to...
This morning, the story of my driver license. That's right. We want to say driver's license, but if you look at your Florida driver license, that's what it says on there. It's not drivers.
Boy.
It's not apostrophe S. It's driver license.
I never wished we lived in another state more than when you point out that this state doesn't use the apostrophe S.
Well,
Yeah.
I found out on Saturday that my driver license in Florida has been suspended for like 7 months. Over 6 months. I've been driving on a suspended license since December 4th. And this could happen to you. In fact, your license might be suspended right now. So you're going to want to listen at about 7:45 to 7:50 this morning, somewhere in that zone. That's in the middle of our hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ with no music, no commercials, nothing but content. You're going to want to hear this. So say 7:45, 7:50. You want to listen to why my driver license was suspended since last December. And what would have happened if I were pulled over? What would have happened? Holy crap. Zero knowledge of this. It was discovered on Saturday, and you're not going to believe the whole story. How I discovered that my driver license was suspended since December. This could happen to anybody. This could happen to you. You might be suspended right now. How do you find out if you're suspended? You can do it in 2 seconds. And all that's coming up in just a bit. So I started laughing at this. I'm like, oh, my God. A passenger is on a flight and notices another passenger doing this ridiculous action upon landing.
Okay.
This is from a Reddit forum. This is the Delta Reddit forum. So Reddit has a forum for everything.
Yeah, subreddits with every subject you can imagine.
People with chainsaws sticking out of their ass. There is a subreddit for that.
Yes.
Chainsaws sticking out of people's butts.
I actually started that subreddit.
All right. So there is a Reddit thread for everything. So Delta Airlines has their own thread. And I guess this started as a question. What's the weirdest thing that ever happened to you on a plane? And there were like 2,000 responses, 2,000 reactions. And this individual said that a passenger started playing a wooden recorder while sitting in a window seat. On landing and then taxiing, this gentleman pulled out his recorder. The flute little thing. Remember when you were a kid in school? They had the little plastic recorders.
Yeah.
It's like a flute deal.
Mm-hmm.
So upon landing and then during the entire taxi, a guy pulls out a recorder and starts playing Amazing Grace for the other 100+ people on the flight.
Did it soothe him?
I don't know. Was he just thrilled that they landed? That they made it safely? And Amazing Grace. So the dude pulls out this flute-like recorder and just starts belting out Amazing Grace just after landing.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty damn strange. I mean, you shouldn't really have to subject people to that. Have you ever heard where people break out into song? What was the story we had a couple of years ago? There was some choir that was on a flight, and in the middle of the flight, the whole choir, they were traveling somewhere, and the choir just starts belting out songs, and some passengers liked it, but some were freaking annoyed. It's like, stop, I'm trying to sleep here.
Listen,
What are you doing?
Let's just close our eyes. We'll be landed soon.
Seatbelt lights were off. The choir's standing up, and they're treating the whole airplane to a concert. And some people are like, what if we don't want a concert? Okay, your singing is good, but what if I do a search for that quickly?
The singers, because I found dozens of videos of Amazing Grace being played on the recorder.
All right, give me a little sample of that first.
I think this
Hold on, mate. Give me a little sample here. Okay, you got to turn the volume
they're
up.
tutorials.
No, you just turn the page. All right. Oh my God, that's awful sounding. It sounds like it's off key. Oh God. Yeah, these are fourth graders at some assembly doing this. That's terrible. Here's another kid. Where are you? All right, the recorder sounds like ass.
Yeah, I mean, this must be one of the first songs they learn.
My God, that's awful. So
Choir on plane, right?
yeah, type in. Yeah, don't do a YouTube video. I
need the video.
I do that first, but I remember there was a story. There was a story that we did. I can't remember whether we had audio. Choir on airplane. No, that's not it. It was a domestic flight. That's British Airways.
Okay, all right. Let me look
Yeah. I know it was a news story, and some of the passengers were annoyed. I don't think anyone ought to. Some people think that the other 150 people on the plane want to hear whatever they have to do or say, and this is not the case. You find the story? Yeah, it's an old story. Choir on plane? Nah, I don't think that's it. Anyway, so moving on.
Okay.
Fester.
Yes.
When I saw this, I started cracking up, and I'm like, you know what? If Fester weren't working on the MJ Morning Show, he would have been the responsible party for this happening, initiating a product recall. That if you weren't working on the MJ Morning Show and not selling RVs at General RV as your real job, that you'd be working at the Breyers factory mislabeling 6,800 tubs of ice cream, or cases, rather. I mean, there's a lot. Not tubs, cases.
It is well known that working at an ice cream factory is a fantasy of mine.
Breyers has issued a recall for one of their popular flavors after a misprint on the packaging affected over 6,000 cases. Now, I don't know how many tubs of ice cream.
Probably 6 or 8.
I don't know how many tubs are in a case, but I'll tell you what, there are probably more tubs in a case now because it's not a half gallon anymore. Breyers, I think, was one of the first ones to to take the half gallon down to a quart and a half or whatever the hell is in there. In that little, it's like a pencil thin container now of ice cream instead of a full half gallon. Yeah. So listen to this: 6,000 plus cases being recalled. U.S. Food and Drug Administration stated in an enforcement report that the voluntary recall initiated on June 2nd was given Class 2 risk level. There was no press release issued for the recall, but the report from the FDA stated that the products were recalled due to an undeclared allergen and mislabeled product.
Yeah, nuts.
Yeah. So what happened was they put Rocky Road into some kind of chocolate truffle flavor container. That'll suck if you've got a nut allergen. And I think the packaging has like a little thing on the back where the ingredients are, may contain nuts or produced on the same line, So if you've got a really severe nut allergy, most people know, to look for that or to stay away from certain products. But mislabeled product, undeclared allergen. The company's Rocky Road ice cream was packaged in a tub for chocolate truffle.
I mean, how much different does the chocolate truffle look?
But wait a
than
minute.
Breyers
But hold on.
Rocky
It gets
Road?
even more confusing. It was then packaged with the Rocky Road lid. So you had the chocolate truffle tub. So the chocolate truffle tub was printed with
A Rocky Road lid.
No, yeah, exactly. So it was the Rocky Road was put into the chocolate truffle container, but they had the Rocky Road lid. What a cluster frig.
Yeah.
So why I laughed is, I don't know why. Immediately I'm like, that's like something Fester would do.
Dude, I'm looking at both of these containers.
They look the same.
They look all but identical.
That's all the same, Fester.
Here's chocolate truffle right here.
They don't look identical. What are you talking about?
There's Rocky Road.
Rocky Road has a big white streak through the ice cream.
Close enough.
The ice cream scoop on the chocolate truffle versus the Rocky Road looks nothing alike.
Once you open it and you start scooping it and the swirls are all around, do you really notice a difference?
If you didn't
guess
have
what?
a nut allergy.
when your throat closes and you go into anaphylactic shock and you're looking for your EpiPen to jam yourself in the thigh.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's when you'll notice. Oh yeah, they're close enough. No.
Can't they donate these to soup kitchens or something?
Oh, I don't know.
Aren't there?
Yeah, because all the cases of ice cream will melt and it'll be like soup.
Well, no, but can't
So
you give them to
it'd be very appropriate. Donate the melted ice cream to a soup kitchen.
Can't they have like an ice cream party in prison or something? Can't somebody use all this ice cream?
Mm-hmm. You would hope.
I mean, I don't exactly want serial killers eating ice cream every night. However, once in a while, you have a little ice cream party. It'll be okay.
I got to see it now. Fester would be the one responsible for loading up the wrong containers.
Multiple times. Multiple times, yes.
Does that person get fired? Whoever was responsible, is it like a one-person deal or was it a total team screw up? If you're responsible for 6,000, what was the total number of cases? Hang on a minute.
6,800, I thought I heard you say?
I think it was 6,800. I tossed the story.
It's a lot of ice cream.
It's a lot of freaking ice cream. 6,800 cases of ice cream. Have we figured out how many Breyers ice cream containers are in a case?
No, I need to talk to somebody that has the Breyers route. They would know.
That's a lot of tubs of ice cream.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of mistake that Fester would make, like first week on the job. Costing the company hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I'll make that mistake after they name me Employee of the Year after being there 20 years. That sounds like, these two containers look remarkably similar.
They do not. The ice cream scoops, as an ice cream making aficionado, the scoops look nothing alike.
Okay, hold on.
Nothing alike.
It's a black container with white Breyers and a green leaf and a scoop of some kind of chocolate ice cream. It looks similar. I'm not saying it's exact. I'm saying it's similar.
And one says Rocky Road like in bright orange, and the other says chocolate truffle. Dude, it looks nothing alike. See, that's why you would make that mistake.
It's radio.
They look close. There was some kind of chocolatey ice cream scoop. Yeah, one with just chips, and then the other one has nuts sticking out and streaks of white marshmallowy crap. See, I told you, Fester would be the one to make the mistake. Fester's response is exactly why I'm laughing out loud.
No question. Not every time, but if it happened once or twice out of 100.
6:31 at the MJ Morning Show. Early. Hey, Michelle, how are those headphones feeling?
Better.
Do you feel great
Like I'm
now?
not going to want to walk out of here and like gouge my eyes or ears out.
Because you said the headphones that you were wearing, which were like mine, you were wearing the exact model that I wear. You said that they were.
I really don't know how you wear those on your fat head because I have a little tiny head. I can't even buy hats like off the rack. And those things were just like squeezing and squeezing. I thought my brain was
going
to
to
like
a little tiny head. What, like a little shrunken, like a little voodoo shrunken head?
Like Beetlejuice.
Like
yeah, like the end of Beetlejuice. Hey guys, hey, Beetlejuice.
I never even saw that movie.
Oh well, have you ever seen the Shrunken Heads theme?
I never saw Beetlejuice either.
Oh, at the end he switches numbers with like the guy. He gets number like 28 million, and then the guy next to his number 4, and now serving number 3, and he switches numbers, and the guy shrinks his head. You have to see it.
Oh my gosh!
You know what?
It's a deal.
Beetlejuice just never interested me. That's why I never went to the theater to see it, and I never saw it after the fact, either streaming or on DVD. Just the whole Beetlejuice thing, it just never. It repelled me to be, for whatever reason, that movie there are certain movies that, whatever preconceived notion I have, that there are certain movies that just repel me and I've never seen. 6:33 MJ Morning Show. We do, so Michelle, you're feeling better?
Yes, much better, thank you.
So it doesn't feel like you're getting a migraine or a giant headache because of too tight headphones?
Yes.
Yeah, Michelle, we got her new headphones over the weekend, so she's happy. All right, 6:33, early morons in the news next on the MJ Morning Show on Q105, 104.7 FM. A lot of rain over the weekend. Actually, we've been in a rainy pattern. So if you had rain and you noticed you had a leaky roof, time to call Westfall Roofing. If you have any need for a roofer, do you want a great company with a great reputation? You want a company that's been around for decades, since 1989. Westfall Roofing has been replacing and repairing roofs here in the Tampa Bay area. So if you have a leak that is presented, and listen, it's just going to get rainier and rainier. We're also in the beginning of hurricane season here. If you notice a roof leak, you call Westfall. You know, this is one of these trades, one of these issues at your house where you need a reputable company. So for roofing, it's Westfall Roofing. If you need a brand new roof, call Westfall. You know, roofing lifespan in Florida really is just between 15 and 20 years. So they're the company that does the roofing work at my house. WestfallRoofing.com. That's WestfallRoofing.com. And tell them that MJ sent you. Anything new on the car wreck front with the Kemp Law Group, Fester? Anything developed last week that we have not yet discussed?
Listen, the Kemp Law Group's in the thick of it right now. Back and forth with the other attorneys.
Oh, yeah.
Now they're doing the lawyer stuff, and it's great.
So one of our great clients here on the MJ Morning Show is Stacey Kemp and the Kemp Law Group. You know the slogan, accident or fall, you call Kemp Law. They're going to recover for you, and you don't pay a dime until they recover. And with the little chat and banter I was just having with Fester, if you don't know, maybe you surmised, there was an incident. Fester's wife was driving her vehicle, and an Uber rear-ended her in downtown Tampa, causing $7,000 in damage to her car. And, of course, her back is jacked. Her neck was all, I mean, you get hit by a car and it does $7,000 worth of damage, you're going to feel that. So Kemp Law is handling Fester's wife's case. So if you have a car wreck, they can handle your case too. They know exactly what they're doing. They know the system. They know how to not let the other side take advantage of you. If you've been injured in a car wreck, you call Kemp Law. Accident or fall, you call Kemp Law, KempLaw.com, and tell them MJ sent you. Traffic's on 6:35. Morons in the news, minutes away, next. item that caught my attention.
Like Briars.
All right, 6:41 at the MJ Morning Show. So one other recall, and listen, this could be serious. I mean, if you're diabetic, there was a recall of a whole bunch of mislabeled cases of Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar.
Ooh.
They put the regular Dr. Pepper in the zero sugar. Can you imagine? Wow, this diet drink, this is the best tasting diet drink I've ever had. Wow, this
is really good.
This diet Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar, man, they've really cracked the code on the best tasting diet soda ever. That's because they put the regular Dr. Pepper in the diet cans.
So we're talking about last segment how these two Briar containers look.
Briars.
Whatever.
Not Briar, it's Briars.
They look similar. Just like these Coke cans. They do. They try to make these Coke cans look pretty similar too. I mean, yeah, it says zero sugar on the one that's zero sugar, but they're not trying to make it that obvious.
Yeah, there was a voluntary recall of 12-pack and 24-pack cases of 12-ounce cans of Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar because the cans contained the full sugar Dr. Pepper product. Oh, boy.
Come on.
Oh, man, this is the best tasting diet soda I've ever had. Man, if someone goes to work, you got to try this Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. It tastes like it's loaded with sugar.
It's full of it.
Because it is.
Chock full of sugar.
Oh, man.
Extra sugar Dr. Pepper.
That's crazy. Oh, something else, a little like a follow-up.
Yes.
From the follow-up file here on the MJ Morning Show. And listen, I always want to set something straight. If we do an item and somebody gets chastised, somebody gets raked over the coals for something, and then let's say something else, it's sort of like when a newspaper makes a mistake. You know, the mistake story could be the big front page headline, and then the correction or the retraction.
Size of a postage stamp in the last page, tucked in the corner.
Little teensy-weensy correction. So whenever we do a story and then some new information comes out, I'd like to, fill the audience in. Do you remember a little over a week ago, and I had this in the pile last week. I just didn't get around to it, but better late than never category. Do you remember with all the high school graduations that occurred over the last, couple of weeks? All over the country, and some are still going on right now because you've got some states where the seniors and the high school they're just finishing up now, or any school, the elementary kids, the middle school, the high school. There are some states like when I was a kid in New York, when I was growing up in New York, up until I was 10 years old, our school didn't get out until I want to say it was like the 20th of June. It was like around that area. It was
late June, yeah.
Listen, you went to elementary school for a spell on Long Island, right?
And the school started after Labor Day.
Right.
I mean, here school starts like the first and a half week of August.
Yeah. So an earlier start, and then the Florida kids get out early. So do you remember the story we had where high school graduation, the guy does a backflip on stage as he's walking up to get his diploma? On the stage, you get the principal, you get the whole staff, and they're handing out the diplomas. They're calling your name. And this kid does a backflip and totally clocks the girl behind him in the face.
And she's not expecting it. She's looking out at the crowd, waving to her mom and dad.
She is floored. So this guy does a celebratory backflip on stage at his high school graduation. Where was it? It was in
South Plantation High School.
Yeah, it was down in Broward County. So it's a Florida story, and this kid, this boy, does an unbelievable mid-air somersault backflip, and just nails the girl behind him in her purple graduation gown getup, and just clocks her in the face. I mean, just knocks the crap out of her. She falls to the ground, and we're like, yeah, what a dummy, what a bore. Guess what?
Was she suing the school for $20 million?
No. The girl said I was not seriously hurt and that he did tell me beforehand that he was going to do a mid-air somersault to stay back. And she said she got distracted, got zoned out because she, all the lights and all the fanfare. She forgot to stay back and trailed him too closely. But the update to the story is that the boy that did the backflip told her, hey, I'm doing a backflip. Just stay back so I don't hit you. And she's just all dazed and confused, walking on stage, like a zombie, and forgot that she was supposed to stay back a little bit.
I don't know that I've ever seen somebody graduating so closely behind somebody. She's like literally right behind this guy.
So the guy says to her, hey, stay back. And it's almost like she followed even more closely.
Yeah. The exact opposite of what the guy was asking.
So
it's like she's against backflips.
Yeah, by the way, her name is Amelia. And she put up a video on social media of her holding her diploma, and the caption read, yep, it's me in the video, meaning she's the one that got kicked in the face. And she said, hi, guys, I'm all good. I'm not hurt. He did tell me beforehand. I just got distracted. Please don't send him any hate. So I wanted to just do the follow-up, better late than never. I meant to do this last week, and I didn't get around to it. You ready for additional morons of the news? 647 MJ Morning Show. Welcome to our early listeners. Highly appreciated. Listen to this story from right here in Florida, from Orange County, so the Orlando area. And when I saw this, I had to have a chuckle because a big garage door opener brand happens to be involved. Unknowingly, unwittingly, and it happens to be the garage door opener brand that I have at my house. It happens to be the garage door opener brand that we just gave away 5, count them, 5 top-of-the-line LiftMaster garage door openers. We just gave those away in conjunction with Banco overhead doors for Mother's Day.
Yes.
Remember the greatest Mother's Day gift ever? Get your mom the top-of-the-line $1,000 installed prize. The LiftMaster garage door opener with the video camera, with the light ring, the connectability to your app. So I'm like, what? LiftMaster? What's going on here? An illegal gambling operation was busted over in Orange County.
How?
It was a storefront, and they had these giant vinyl stickers on the front windows of this like strip center store.
I've seen stores like that before.
And it was like allegedly a garage door installation company, and they had the actual LiftMaster logo. Huge, like the stylized, how you can tell it's a certain type of font. So LiftMaster, the famous garage door opener company, their whole logo is on the front of this storefront. You know when they'll use like vinyl coverings to cover the actual windows so you can't see in? And the whole front of the store is like a vinyl sign applied to the glass windows. That's what was going on here. LiftMaster has nothing to do with this. LiftMaster has no culpability here.
I don't know. Now that I'm looking at this artwork, it clearly says LiftMaster right on it.
Right, but LiftMaster had nothing. This was unknown to LiftMaster.
I mean,
guess what was in this shopping center strip mall storefront that was posing as a garage door opener company?
it looks like a really good time.
It was a whole gambling operation.
I see slot machines.
Slot machines.
I see some video poker machines.
Video poker, slot machines. It was a whole full-on gambling operation. And look at the front door. LiftMaster garage door repair.
Look, they call it the LiftMaster Gambling Den on clickorlando.com.
Yeah, from an Orlando TV station. An illegal gambling operation was uncovered at a seeming garage door repair shop in Orange County. In a release, deputies said that they executed a search warrant at the disguised gambling den last Monday, seizing 18 illegal gambling machines and a significant amount of cash.
Oh, man.
So how did they say, oh, we're going to pose as a LiftMaster garage door repair company?
So when you open the door, you can actually see the neon from the slot machines.
But there was a second door.
Yeah, it's like you walk in, there's like a little office area.
There was like a holding area. So both doors had to be open to see all the neon lights and all the flashing slot machines and video poker machines. So it's almost like, when you go to a gun range, you walk into one door and you're in like a soundproof holding area.
Yeah.
And you got to let the other door close before you can open up the second door to get into the actual range. That's what it was like, sort of like an ante room. And oh, can you imagine? Liftmaster's like, we don't have an illegal gambling operation going on here.
Are they at least the Liftmaster authorized dealer?
No, they're not. They're just it's a total ruse.
What if I called the number on the MJ? There's a number on this sign.
There is. It's a 407 number for Orlando area.
What if you call them with garage door related issues? I mean, you drive by the plaza all the time.
You think it's
What was the number? 4072? Is it 285? 28 what? 286 4
334.
Well, let's call. See what happens when you call that number. Hey, Andrew, tell me what happens. Pick up line 1.
Nobody's going to answer.
Let me know what happens. Listen, maybe they used a real garage door company. They stole the Liftmaster logo for garage door openers and put it on the storefront windows of the fake. Andrew says the number's still ringing. I don't think that's going anywhere. But how about that for balls? Oh, Andrew says this mailbox is not currently accepting messages.
Yeah, I bet it
Yeah,
isn't.
because it's been shut down. All right. Psst. Hey, you want to play video poker? Psst. Hey, you want to play slot machines? All right. We're running out of a Liftmaster garage door repair company out of a shopping center in Orange County.
If you're calling for garage door repair, press 1. If you're calling for slot machines, press 2.
Video poker, press 3.
3.
Oh, man. All right, 6:52 at the MJ Morning Show. Do I have time for another?
No.
No, I guess I don't. Yeah, I don't want to get too late here.
Yeah.
Oh, and guess what? I've got a Banco overhead doors commercial coming up right now.
An authorized dealer of Liftmaster.
It's perfect timing. Yeah, Banco overhead doors is actually an authorized Liftmaster dealer, folks. Yeah, when you go to Banco, and I'll tell you what, Banco's showroom is unbelievably beautiful. They're like this whole brand new warehouse with a whole front office and a showroom. When I was there, and I was there just a couple of weeks ago, and I said, "Oh my God, I wish that our radio studio and offices looked even a tenth as good as this garage door office and showroom." All kidding aside, yeah, Banco's got a live spot right here. Banco does, in an authorized fashion, sell and install Liftmaster garage door openers, which I have them on my doors at my house, and we just gave away a whole bunch of them. If you need service, let me tell you right now, if you need service for your garage door, the company to call is Banco. Best garage door service in town. Honest, reputable, reliable. I've heard horror stories on other garage door repair companies, even some big names that advertise quite a bit. My neighbor Mike, had a nightmare with another garage door company, and he doesn't listen to the show. I don't think he's ever heard my show in the 20-something years I've lived in the neighborhood. I don't think he's ever listened. I'm like, dude, if you ever listen to my show, you'd know that I endorse Banco and not the company you called where you had a nightmare. So if you have any garage door service issues, broken spring, whatever, or if you need a new opener, you need a new garage door, I can't recommend Banco highly enough. You got to have Banco. Bank on Banco. Bank on the best. BancoDoors.com. And tell them that MJ sent you. Simple as that. My friends at International Diamond Center, IDC, have got the sale going on right now. What kind of sale? It's the 0.0 interest sale for 5 years. People are driving for hours to take advantage of this offer. So IDC is rolling back prices. So you've got great prices on jewelry, but then they've taken interest rates all the way down to 0 until 2030. You buy something at IDC and you just make monthly payments on the principal. They just take the item, they split it up over 60 months, and that's what you pay. Zero interest financing. This is amazing. Limited time, only until the end of the month. On virtually every purchase, you can spread your payments over 5 years with 0.0 interest. Designer engagement rings as low as $50 a month. Diamond earrings as low as $45 a month. Fine jewelry has never been more affordable. How about a $7,000 diamond bracelet? Gorgeous. And it's just $117 a month because there's no interest. This is going to expire at the end of the month, folks. That's why you want to hit up IDC quickly. International Diamond Center, Tampa, Clearwater, Lakeland, and Sarasota. And tell them MJ sent you. At 6:56, the MJ Morning Show returns in minutes. Don't move. is 7:01 at the MJ Morning Show. MJ, Fester, Michelle, Andrew, our producer in the booth. There's a whole debate on whether Andrew should get a camera. So we are getting closer to the new studio. We are getting close. The day is coming. The new studio. Hey, Andrew, do you have this new studio sweeper? Do you have the one that is running now about broadcasting from the? Hey, put that up on 20. So I'm still even poking fun at the fact that we're not in the new studio after almost 5 years. But I will tell you that the new MJ Morning Show studio is creeping closer, and that they were working in the studio almost every day last week. In fact, I finalized my microphone position.
Oh, what a nightmare that was.
Dude, because the mic stand that they had planned sucked.
The worst mic stand I've ever seen in my life. Why can't we just bring this one over?
All right.
This one works so well.
Well, you know what? Sometimes the old school functionality is probably the best. So I'm doing like a hybrid, but the mic stand that a lot of radio stations are using these days, like these thick, heavy metal, like low-profile arms, they suck. And part of it is to get the microphone out of your face because so many shows have cameras.
It's the video, yeah.
Like, listen, I'm doing a radio morning show. I don't care if there's a microphone in front of my face. So I am going to an older school mic stand, but like sort of like a modernized version of this thing here, and I'm kind of showing it on MJ TV. I just brought it into the frame. So it's sort of a modernized version of this, but so we're getting close. The point is we're getting close that I actually said, yeah, put the mic stand right here, and they drilled it into the countertop. So we're getting close to the new studio. So yeah, here's the funny little sweeper. The little things identifying the show and the station that you hear in between songs or coming out of commercials. The inside industry lingo is, we call this a sweeper, and this is one of the ones poking fun at our studio situation.
Broadcasting from the brand new MJ Morning Show studio. Oh, scrap that. Still in the same old dump.
I can't find a plug. When was this building built? The 40s?
This is the MJ Morning Show on 104.7 FM, Q105.
All right, so we are getting closer to the studio because we're doing things that indicate that we're almost there. So we could be in the new studio within weeks or...
Oh, shut up.
I'm going to say a month. I'm going to say...
I bet you right now we're not in it by Labor Day.
Oh, no, we will. We will.
No.
Absolutely.
I don't. I maybe Christmas.
We will be in the new studio just after July 4th.
Yeah,
Let me tell you this.
Yes.
I will be gone before you get in the new studio.
No,
How
you
about
won't.
that?
No, you won't. You will. Michelle, I just bought you new headphones so you didn't get a headache.
Whatever. This was just for Julian.
What?
He's going to probably take him back to school in August.
Or what's the return window on Amazon?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, bring them back like last day.
Use them, and they got 30 days to send them back to Amazon. 7:05 at the MJ Morning Show. If you didn't hear the news, if you don't follow me on Instagram, you should, because you would have heard this. Fester, bring up my Instagram.
Okay.
Bring up my IG. I shot a video yesterday, and man, it took on a lot of hits. So let's see here. Last I checked, let me just bring this up. I've got like 11,000. Oh, is it 12,000 now? Oh, yeah, 12,600 views. That's pretty good. I was at 10,000 within like 5 or 6 hours, which is pretty, on my Instagram feed, that's pretty damn good. So you have my IG feed up?
I'm getting there.
Because I want to play the audio here. So this is from my Instagram, and this is why you should be following me. I'm Certified MJ Radio, because you'll get content during the weekend. You'll get content after the show. You never know what the hell I'm going to post. You never know what the hell I'm going to stumble across on my daily travels, and I'll put it on Instagram. So if you don't follow me, give me a follow at Certified MJ Radio. Yesterday morning, I was just getting ready to go out on a 5-mile walk. This is about 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock in the morning, Sunday morning, and I post this video on my Instagram. Fester?
Yes.
Play it and hit unmute. Go, hit it.
Shocking information. Hey, it's MJ from the MJ Morning Show, 104.7 FM, Q105 Tampa Bay. I found out yesterday that my Florida driver license has been suspended since last December 4th. Over 6 months. If I happened to be pulled over, they were supposed to confiscate my license and take the tag off my vehicle. This is insane. What happened? Could it happen to you? A big warning. Tomorrow morning, Monday, June 16th, MJ Morning Show on Q105.
All right, so I posted that, and obviously the speculation, all the comments, dozens and dozens of people commenting what happened. Oh, this happened to me. People guessing on what happened. I will tell the whole story at 7:50. So somewhere between 7:45 and 7:50, in the middle of our long chunk, we do an hour and 20 minutes nonstop MJ, and I'll tell the whole story at about 7:50. I'd be here around 7:45, but somewhere in that time window, later this hour, I'm going to tell the whole story. And it's important because what happened to me could easily happen to you. How do you make sure there is a surefire way to make sure you're not tooling around with a suspended license? You might not even know your license is suspended. When you hear me tell the story fully at 7:45 to 7:50 later this hour, this morning, you might do this little check. I'm going to tell you how to do it. It'll take you 10 seconds to do it, and you can find out if your license is suspended or if it's valid. And my story is crazy.
So by definition, you weren't a fugitive, but you have been wanted?
No, I'm not wanted per se, but you're not going to believe. If I were pulled over, the cops on the computer screen instructed to take my driver license, confiscate it, and remove the tag from my vehicle. So wherever I was on the road, I couldn't drive. Or I could, or that I would risk even greater, charges.
Have you been committing felonies
No,
every day for the last...
No, I have not.
Have you been committing high crimes and misdemeanors?
No, well, no. Was I driving illegally? Yes. Was it my fault? No. I'm going to tell the whole story coming up. Folks, I'm telling you, you need to listen to this coming up at 7:45 to 7:50. You got to hear the story because you could be in the same boat that I am in right now, and I'm going to tell you how to make sure that you're not. Michelle, if you were to guess, this is one of these BS stories just for like free PR on radio morning shows like this.
We'll bite.
But listen, I know the score. I know the game, but it's somewhat interesting. If you were to guess what is the most popular pasta in the state of Florida? Yeah, I've got a story, a new survey. New survey's out. According to a food blog called Inspired Taste, they've collated all the data from a nationwide survey, and they've determined which states like what pasta.
Oh, man.
So here in Florida, Michelle, if you were to get, oh, by the way, I made my cacio e pepe on Friday night, and we did video the whole thing. So, Michelle, Julian is behind. He's like gaming, and he's not doing my videos.
Yeah.
I made a delicious conch stew.
Maybe you ought to pay him.
Because people are commenting about, hey, we love your cooking videos. And every once in a while, I put up at Christmas time, I put up the bowl. What are you giving me the...
Because your son's lazy.
You give me the rush...
Because your son's a lazy sack. He's at home summer vacation living off of the family teat over here, and he's not doing the work.
So we pay for his school. He doesn't have student debt and student loans. He's got roof over his head. He's eating like a monster at my place.
Oh, my God, he does.
How much more seriously would he be taking your job if he had a $150,000 a year in student debt over his shoulder?
All I'm asking is he's got 2 videos where all the video is shot. He just needs to edit them together for me so I can get them up on my Instagram.
That's boring.
Send it to me. I'll do it while I'm driving in iMovie.
Yeah, okay, great. Yeah,
Seriously.
That's what I need you to do.
You have a son going to film school. I can do the same thing in iMovie.
No, you can't.
What, are you going to sweep in?
I've got my cacio e pepe, my famous Italian Roman dish, came out perfect as usual, and we shot the video of me making this extremely simple dish that most people screw up and can't get it right. And that's why, that's why a lot of restaurants, that's why a lot of Italian, that's right, I said Italian. That's why a lot of Italian restaurants, they don't make or offer cacio e pepe because it's difficult to make. And, restaurants, some that do make it, they add butter and olive oil to make it easier. No. You don't add butter and olive oil. So I will show you my method as soon as Julian gets the video edited. And then also I made a Caribbean conch stew. Oh, God. Just, in fact, I've got a quart defrosting in the fridge right now. I'm going to have that for lunch several times during this week. So I made that as well over a week ago. And Julian's got 2 videos to edit so I can get them up on my Instagram. He swears they'll be done today. So you might be having some great MJ in the kitchen content. And people are begging me, MJ, we want more cooking videos.
Begging?
Some folks are begging.
Begging?
Yes.
It's one thing to acknowledge it. Hey, listen, I find them interesting, but begging?
All right, so back to the pasta.
Yes. What's the states and the shape?
So every state's favorite pasta shape, penne, fettuccine, spaghetti, capellini, rotini, linguine, or rigatoni. Those are, looks like, 7 options. And then they have a map of the United States, and then the little symbol or the picture of the pasta that state likes is on the map. Look, I'm not going through the whole damn thing. All I care about is Florida. In Florida, out of penne, fettuccine, spaghetti, capellini, rotini, that's like the telephone cord looking stuff.
Yeah.
Linguine or rigatoni, what pasta? Michelle, do you know the answer to this? Did you see it?
For Florida?
Did you see the answer?
Is it spaghetti?
Hold on, I didn't say give me an answer yet.
Oh, sorry.
Well, listen, this is really dramatic, this build-up here.
I'm just asking, did you see the story?
I saw it last week.
So you know the answer?
Well, no, I didn't memorize every 50 states with their favorite pasta.
So
was.
your
spaghetti
guess,
the right answer?
Your guess is spaghetti. Fester, what would you guess out of that list?
I would guess like a fettuccine.
You are incorrect. Michelle is right.
Oh. Well, I think spaghetti's the most popular one.
Yeah, here's the kick in the nuts on all of that,
Spaghetti's
MJ.
number 1 in Florida.
I would have guessed a shape that's not even on the list. I would have guessed elbow macaroni because we're in the South.
Yeah.
And we think pasta. We
You're
think
right.
we think of Italian fare. I was gonna say with mac and cheese being served at almost everywhere.
I mean, every restaurant.
Every restaurant has their spin on mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of mac and cheese, by the way, Michelle could live on mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Kraft
macaroni,
only.
just not the fancy stuff. What's the healthy mac and cheese? Like we've got friends of ours. I won't say who they are. The Weinsteins.
Is it Annie's?
So
Fox Annie's?
Hey, we got to hear this story.
Oh my God,
dork. So friends of ours who I won't mention the name, the Weinsteins. So years ago, I can't remember what the interaction was, but there was some discussion, and Michelle just loves the standard Kraft macaroni and cheese with the orange construction cone colored dust that you make the mix with. Michelle just likes that classic Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Just filled with junk.
It's good. Nothing good in it for you. It's good.
No.
The cheap box, you boil the noodles, which, by the way, their instructions for boiling the noodles are way longer than they should be. Those noodles should boil for like 3 minutes, so you get an al dente noodle. If you follow the instructions on the Kraft box, you end up with mushy crap noodles.
If you're looking for Kraft mac and al dente, you're in the wrong 2 rooms.
You are correct. But listen to this. So our friend, I will not mention their names, Christine. I won't mention, but she is always on some health kick, which lasts for like 7 minutes. like she's gluten-free for a month and a half, and then it's as much bread as she can shove in her face. All right, so...
No, Todd. I was gluten-free last month. This month I want all the bread.
I've been watching her food gimmicks for like 15 years now. All right, when did we first meet them? Like 09?
Julian was 2.
Oh, so Julian was 2. So we've been 06. Oh, we've known him that long?
Yeah.
So it's been like 06. All right, so we've known him for a while. And there's always some food gimmick with Christine. And I remember that you and her had this big debate that she would not feed her kids the Kraft macaroni and cheese because it was filled with radioactive orange dust.
Right.
Or, of course, that's not the case. But she only gave the kids what is it?
Annie's.
Annie's.
Yeah.
So I was confusing Auntie Anne's pretzels.
No.
So
Yeah.
she would only feed the kids Annie's. That's the healthy, fast cardboard box of supermarket mac and cheese. Annie's.
I mean, they sell them everywhere. I've seen them I think at Walmart and Publix.
Yeah. The brand is everywhere.
Yeah.
So Michelle has eaten thousands of boxes, I think, of regular Kraft macaroni and cheese. One of her favorite foods on the planet. She's a cheap date at 80 cents a box. I love it. So I can't remember what it was, but were we out in Colorado?
Yes.
We were all skiing, and
Yes.
we've gone on numerous like Christmas time ski vacations with them, and there was lunch in our condo, and she had gone to the city market, and she bought the Annie's the healthy mac and cheese. She makes it, and Michelle tries it, and Michelle's like, and just spitting. I said, "Oh, this is awful. This is terrible."
Yeah.
It's terrible. Sorry.
And by the way, I tried to get you more mac and cheese.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
know
out.
what is going on at Costco. That was a staple. Why does Costco not have the standard Kraft macaroni and cheese? It's been out of stock for weeks. You buy the big giant cube, like this big box of Kraft macaroni and cheese. What are there, like 20 of them in there or something?
It's an 18-pack.
18-pack. There's this huge 18-pack of Kraft macaroni and cheese, and for whatever reason, Costco has not had it for weeks. What's going on? Costco, hello. Get the damn mac and cheese back in stock from Kraft. That's like all that Michelle eats. Well, not really, but she loves it.
It's one of her favorites.
It is. All right, but again, according to the pasta chart, spaghetti is the favorite pasta here in Florida.
I would think the whole South would actually be elbow macaroni. And then like the Midwest
Yeah.
would be like a rigatoni where they make more casseroles. And then like the Northeast would be like the linguinis and the
Right.
and the spaghettis.
Right.
You know what Michelle and I started watching? We're late to the game, but again, our list is enormous. There's just too much streaming stuff out there. Between all the services, Netflix and Hulu and Apple TV and Peacock and this and that, and I mean, Paramount, there's just a crap ton of stuff, and there's just not enough time in the day. Michelle and I, at the urging of Julian, we're watching Severance finally. Have you seen Severance, Fester?
No, I haven't bought a new Apple product to get a year's worth
Right.
of Apple
Yeah.
Plus
So
for free.
that's what we did.
lately.
I updated my Apple TV in my home theater to the latest version. And so I bought the version 3 of Apple TV, and I'm sure version 4 will come out next year, but they're cheap enough. So with the new device, we got 3 months of Apple because I don't pay for Apple because you can't watch all this crap. So I got a couple of months free of Apple TV. So we're cramming in Severance now while we can for free, and we're about halfway through the first season. Michelle, what do you think? I like it.
Oh, I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how. But Julian says, "Oh, just wait, they do it." You know, how do you keep this?
Well, that's the thing I'm so surprised about because it is kind of a slow burn.
Yeah.
And you're not really. There's a lot of confusion going on with the set design and
Yeah.
as you were pointing out, the different technology that's available. It spans like generations, and you're kind of like, why do the
Yeah.
computers look old
So-
and the cars look old, but they have a really good smartphone
Yeah,
or
so-
they have certain abilities. So you're watching it, but for me, it's like this new generation that seems to have attention deficit disorder. They can't pay
Yeah.
attention to anything for longer than 30 seconds. This is a big show, buddy.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know.
people love this show.
You know what? It's slow burn, but the episodes move fast.
Yeah.
It's like 45 or 50 minutes. I'm like, they go by very quickly, although it's a slow burn. But like technology, like you see like a 1980s diesel Volkswagen Rabbit, then you see an old Volvo, and then you see flip phones, but then Arquette, one of the bosses, she's got a smartphone.
Yeah.
And then the TVs are widescreen.
Mm-hmm.
So the widescreen TVs are more of a late 2000s product. like 2008, 20, something like, instead of like a regular square, the old TV boxes. So it's just, but the computer terminals are like these old, like 70s looking CRTs. So it's just kind of weird on the technology is kind of a little disconnected. I don't know if that's intentional or whatever. All right, but we're watching Severance. And we're enjoying it so far. So we'll see. 7:22 at the MJ Morning Show. We start over an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next, including at about 7:50, my suspended driver license story, which is unfreaking believable. But next, Michelle calls me out on something, and I'm sorry. Don't read into there's something I do, and Michelle always has a snide little comeback. So I want to have a discussion about this, and I want to see what other listeners think.
What?
Well, guess what? You'll find it's called a teaser.
Okay.
You're going to find out next, too, on the MJ Morning Show at 7:22. In minutes, don't move. All right, Veterans Ford wants you to know that you need to hurry. There are only weeks left for Ford employee pricing. It's going to expire July 4th. You have the ability to get a Ford car, truck, or SUV at employee pricing. This is what the actual Ford employee pays for the vehicle. So if you're a factory worker at some assembly line in Louisville, Kentucky, or St. Louis, Missouri, you've been working the line for 27 years, you get Ford employee pricing. Now you, the MJ Morning Show listener, can get the same employee pricing. It's actually lower than dealer cost. But the Ford employee pricing is going to expire on July 4th. So you got to hurry and get this done. Go to Veterans Ford. And why veterans? Well, it's all about the whole package, how they treat you. You walk in there, tell them that you listen to the MJ Morning Show. The red carpet will be rolled out. It's going to be an easy deal. They're not going to do all the car dealer shenanigans. So just have a good time at Veterans Ford. Their service department is top-notch. If you need good Ford service, I know numerous folks who have made a switch that they just couldn't stand their previous Ford service department, but they love Veterans Ford. Veterans Ford, Line Ball on the Veterans Expressway. Tell them that MJ sent you. It's moving time. It is, the last couple of days of spring. Spring is a busy moving season, and then we get into an even busier season, and that's summertime. If you are making a move, I don't want you to screw this up. If you are making a move, do not make the wrong move. Make the correct move, and that's calling 2collegebrothers.com. The moving industry, the moving business for the consumer like you and me can be a freaking minefield. You got to be careful of the really crappy bad movers that are out there. You got some hucksters, scam artists. You got some really bad movers out there. You got to avoid them. How do you do it? You call 2 College Brothers Moving and Storage. Their whole business model is based on phenomenal reviews. They want to do such a great job, give you such a great price that you're going to be running to leave a good Google review. Over 1,100 5-star reviews. It's 2collegebrothers.com. Mention me, MJ. Get free moving boxes. 2collegebrothers.com. The smartest move you'll ever make. Traffic's on. With Shriner back in a minute, MJ Morning Show.
We have a disabled vehicle.
1 hour, 20 minutes of nonstop MJ starts right now. All right, we have a lot to cover, including my suspended driver license, which I only found out about on Saturday. My license, folks, has been suspended since last year. I'm driving around on a suspended driver license since last December. What the? With zero knowledge. Crazy story could happen to you. You've got to hear this. Do you know how to check it right now? Do you know how to check right now to see if your license is suspended or if it's valid? 10-second check, and you can do it right now. Anyone. I'll tell you the whole story coming up in minutes. 7:45 to 7:50. You got to hear this story coming up. All right, first, though, I want to talk about a little situation, and this happens a lot, and I think it's unfair. I want to talk about a rush to judgment. And, Michelle, you're the guilty party here.
Oh, am I?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Whenever I look at my watch, Michelle will say, "What, are you bored? What, am I boring you? What, do you have somewhere to go?" So
that's what I say.
Those are the responses.
You have somewhere to be?
Somewhere to be, somewhere to go, or
because it's so easy.
Or am I boring you?
Because it's so you see how this is?
Now,
it's so easy, Fester.
I know that there are many other people that are in the same boat as me. I am not bored. I don't want to escape you. I don't want to run away. I don't have to be somewhere. So this just happened again over the weekend. Michelle's telling me something. We're engaged in conversation. And I do a quick glance at my watch. And Michelle thinks that instantly, if I look at my watch, that I must be bored. She must be boring me. I'm done. I'm looking for the escape hatch. I'm waiting for the trap door to open up so I can fall through the floor.
Because you know what? It's an indicator that you're thinking of something else.
That's not true.
Just you. I'm just saying anybody.
Not true.
When you look at your watch, it's an indicator that
it's not fair, Michelle. It's
you've got somewhere else to be.
MJ is always thinking about something else.
No.
It's very, very, very difficult to have a completely 100% focused conversation with MJ.
Hold on.
Yeah.
You have 3 or 4 things cooking on your mind at all times.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't mean it in a negative way.
Yeah.
The way you think is that you can multitask in your own brain.
Oh, he can't though.
You can juggle 3 or 4. You think you can juggle 3 or 4 things at one time, and it's hard to get you to focus on one thing. And then if you do get MJ to focus on one thing, there's like a little tick, 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 tick timer. I hear it every time hey, I need your attention for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, go. And I give it to you. And you're like, okay, and we come up with a decision and it's done. But yeah.
But you'll look at your watch in the middle of a movie, or when we were watching Severance on Saturday, you look at your watch and I'm like, why are you looking at your watch? Like, I am so fully engaged. I know it's nighttime. We've had our dinner, a cocktail. We're having a little glass of wine.
He can't do that.
And I'm just totally relaxed and watch. I couldn't care less. It's 10 p.m. or 2 a.m. Who cares? And you're looking at your watch like you got somewhere to be. The bed is calling your name, or the walk. I don't know.
I have nowhere to be. I just want to know what time it is. Why can't I just want to know?
Why do you need to know?
Why do I not need to know?
Why you need because your brain needs to check out.
Yeah.
Like you need that. Like just check out.
I mean, during daylight hours, I guess I'm always aware of what time it is.
Right.
However, once the kids go to bed, I don't care what time it is.
Yeah.
I always like to know what time it is. And
Says the person who is the worst time manager. He needs to know the time, and his watch must be very precise. However,
I need to know the time so I can't manage it.
Late for everything.
I'm also into horology.
Yes.
Yes.
Which is
nothing
to do with whores. It's horology, H-O-R-O. Horology is it's having to do with watches. So I'm a watch fan. So, Michelle, if I look at my watch, don't take it as a personal slight.
Oh, I'm not.
But you do. You always get on me. It's like, oh, you got somewhere to be.
Okay, you
got a hot date.
Stop.
You know.
Misinterpret my goading you with a personal slight. If I was really offended, I would have gotten up and left and gone to bed.
I mean, Michelle, you are holding him to first date body language standards. If this was your first date and he's checking his watch, before appetizers are done, that's not a good sign. But we know that he has these isms about him.
MJ-isms.
That just makes him unique and somewhat lovable to some degree to some people, although I can't name many. And that's how he is.
I'm sure there are many people listening right now that they get the same thing. If they just glance at their watch just to see what time it is, suddenly they're accused of wanting to get out of the situation, that they're bored, and that's just
It's
not
an indicator.
It's not an indicator. That's the point. It is not a freaking indicator at all. I just want to know what time it is. Can you stop it now when I look at my watch?
No, because it's too fun. Look how it got you. Because then you were like all peeved. You were like, no, what are you saying? And you went on and on.
You've been doing that to me forever.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing it up.
Look how it's got
I
you.
know you're against these home smart devices that you think eavesdrop in on your conversation.
I don't need a Google Home or an Alexa or whatever. I don't need that crap in my home with the microphone always on.
Listen, but you just shout out.
We get enough crap with the mic always on. Now you can get it. You can get into your smartphone, whether you're Android or Apple. You can get into your phone and you can go into privacy settings and you can turn a lot of things off. But listen, I realize our phones are listening to us. Our TVs are probably listening to us. Our remote control. It's like surveillance society out there. And whatever I can limit, I choose to limit. Anyway, so I'm done. I'm moving on.
Let's check your watch first.
Mm-hmm.
It is 7:36 at the MJ Morning Show. And my watch is precise. It's right on the money. Absolutely right on the money.
That's another psycho thing about you, dude.
What's that?
I set all my watches like 4 minutes fast.
Mm-mm.
I got to be exactly on time.
Precise.
Do you know what a fridge sig is? I learned something new yesterday. I had no idea that it was called a fridge sig.
I think I could put it together just by what you said.
What?
A gun in the refrigerator?
No, not sig as in Sig Sauer. A cigarette.
Oh, a fridge sig.
A fridge sig.
What, you put your cigarettes? I thought you'd keep a gun in the refrigerator.
No.
That's a great place for a refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have small kids where gun safety is a top issue of yours, you could put a gun underneath the
Spinach?
Oh, yeah.
Listen, no, you do not do that.
You'd want to put it underneath a non-perishable.
Dude,
Yeah.
Fester, stop spreading jackass erroneous
you
information.
Ask questions.
Listen,
I'm guessing a fridge sig is a gun in the fridge.
No, if you keep a gun and you have small children, it's got to be locked up in a little mini safe.
Oh, a little mini safe in the fridge.
No, well, if you want to do that,
Yeah.
then fine. But you got to have one of those little square gun boxes. And plenty of people have, a gun for personal protection, home protection. If you've got a gun and you've got small kids, you have to have you got to have that gun in a lockbox.
So I could probably get to my fridge before I could get to my gun safe if I ever needed it.
Dude, this has nothing to do with guns.
Mm.
Stop. It's nothing. A fridge sig. I found this out yesterday. I had no idea that this is slang. So obviously, people that are hooked on tobacco or nicotine, they got to have a smoke, got to have a cig. So a cigarette. Somebody has coined this term that this is another addictive item, but they call it a fridge cig, as in cigarette. And I had no idea this was a thing until yesterday. Do you know what it is?
I dare not guess again.
Viral video. This popped up on my Instagram feed. I'm just scrolling. And by the way, I set a scroll limit of 3 minutes. All right. And I try to adhere to this. But seriously, if you can get caught up in a scroll, you can go down a rabbit hole for freaking 2 hours.
Yeah, you know about rabbit holes, all right.
All right. So, all right. Look at all these personal digs you're taking
back
on
to
me.
fridge sig,
All right,
sig fridge, whatever,
so
Siegfried, what is it called?
This is a fridge sig, as in cigarettes, CIG, fridge sig.
Is it where you have a cigarette every time you get up and check the refrigerator?
So this was the video that I saw, and the narrator on the video says, overheard someone call Diet Coke a fridge cigarette.
Oh, man.
So people are, and I know folks, once I saw this, I'm like, yeah, I know some people addicted to Diet Coke. Always have, I know some people that go through 15 freaking Diet Cokes a day. There's some people in the office that do that.
Yeah, that's right.
There are some people that are drinking Diet Cokes like they're about to be taken off the market. Some people are downing multiple 6-packs, like a 12-pack a day of Diet Cokes. And I didn't know this. The people that are addicted to Diet Coke, in your office, and we have it here. I'm looking out the window. So I'm looking out toward the north side of our parking lot, and there's across the parking lot in the wooded area, and I can see it right now from here. I can see we've got a picnic table, benches out there. That's the smoking area for the building.
That's smoking central right
Exactly.
there. Yeah.
It could easily be the Diet Coke area.
Just put a vending machine right there.
But you can drink Diet Coke at your desk. You can drink Diet Coke in your cubicle or in your office. You don't have to leave the building like smoking. But have you ever heard that term? That Diet Cokes are fridge cigarettes. That's people are thinking, same thing here.
Yeah.
That's why I'm fascinated. I never knew this until yesterday.
My wife loves Diet Coke.
See, look
She
at that.
does?
Except she likes it best from the fountain.
Yeah.
So we were watching, this is a couple of seasons ago, the excellent HBO show or Max show, Hacks,
Yeah.
with Deborah Vance.
It's HBO. It's an HBO show.
But Max is a streaming
But
service.
the streaming is Max. But now they're going back. Did you know this?
No.
They're going
Yeah.
back to HBO Max. Yeah, so they're going to reinstall the HBO name on Max.
I don't know why they got rid of it. But anyway.
because they're just corporate idiots make dumb decisions. I'll tell you about dumb corporate decisions in radio all day long because I've been watching it for decades.
Talk about guys doing coke at their desks.
Yeah.
Anyway, Deborah Vance in one of the first episodes has like a fountain drink machine in her kitchen on the kitchen countertop, and my wife's like, "That's the dream.
That's what I want.
That's
Oh,
right there.
yeah.
How would she want? A couple of
You don't have one, Fester? I'm surprised.
No, as was she. But we could just drill it in, put the canister underneath,
Right.
right? Have the water line feed to it. But her dream would be to have a Diet Coke dispenser at the countertop.
Well, you're not going to believe this. My dad had a soda dispenser at our house.
Shut up.
Going back to, this is before we even moved to Virginia Beach. My dad had a home soda machine. It was a fountainhead, and it was a stainless steel device that was drilled in. Listen to me. It was not a gun. It was a fixed.
Okay.
But it was like a gun.
Okay, all right.
Very, very similar. My dad, so this would have been, I was 7, 8 years old. So this would go back to 1974, 1975, because we had it in New York. Then we moved to Virginia Beach in 76. And we had a new one installed. I think we left the old one. And it was the stainless steel like pipe that came out of the counter. And he had a CO2 tank in the basement. So the CO2 line.
You fed up?
And then he had these bags of syrup.
Yeah, it's like the
So-
Mylar bag or something.
We had a freaking soda fountain in my house. That is the worst. If you got kids that are like 8 years old and 5 years old, that is the worst possible thing. And it was mounted right at the kitchen sink. So we had a freaking soda fountain. We had root beer Coke. We had 7-Up or Sprite. We had,
That's great.
I think he had cream soda.
All the good flavors.
There were little buttons. So I think there were 4 or 5 buttons that you pushed to get your drink.
Oh, wow.
And I can't even remember the brand name, but man, that was the craziest thing. So that was in my house growing up. I'm like, the worst possible thing. So anyway, just to wrap this up, anyone that's addicted to Coke or Diet Coke, anyone that's addicted to Diet Coke and they're always running to get a cold one, that's their fridge cigarette. Diet Coke. New term. I didn't know this until yesterday, and now I do. So I mentioned Costco earlier because for whatever reason, Costco's been out of stock on Kraft macaroni and cheese. Now, they do have those, the little foam bowls where you put the Velveeta Kraft in the microwave?
Yeah.
No. They have those, but they don't have, for whatever reason, for weeks now. What is there, a big shortage? What would the Kraft macaroni and cheese plant blow up with some kind of a natural gas explosion?
I've driven by the factory before. It's in Champaign, Illinois.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
What, really?
Yeah, the Kraft factories.
It is?
Oh, there are Kraft Foods has factories all over the place.
Okay, well, this is like the macaroni one.
That was the specific. How do you know? They have a giant box outside?
No, they have a giant noodle, except it's behind the fence, and we tried to get to security.
Are you serious?
Yes.
In Champlain, Illinois?
Is it Champlain?
Or Champaign?
Champaign. Champaign's in New York.
All right, Champaign.
Yeah, Champaign, Illinois, and they have this big old
I don't
noodle.
believe you. Type into Google right now. Where is Kraft macaroni and cheese made? I don't believe you. You're saying it's Champaign, Illinois. That's like southern Illinois, right?
Yeah,
Champaign?
It's southern central Mac. And
Where is Kraft macaroni and cheese made? It's not shit. How do you know this? It's Wausau, Wisconsin.
They must have a separate factory.
Kraft macaroni and cheese, specifically the blue box product, is primarily manufactured in Wausau, Wisconsin.
Hold on, let me type in Champaign, Illinois.
Yeah, why don't you type? You have no idea what you're talking about. While the Champaign, Illinois plant is a major production site for Kraft Heinz, it is not the sole location for Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Sole location. Okay.
Listen, this is Google AI.
Listen,
But
they had a big noodle in front of their facility.
I have another, maybe, who knows?
My kids wanted to stop and take a picture with the noodle.
All right. So, speaking of AI, you cannot trust the AI-generated crap on Google. I have another set of stories, because we've talked about this like 5 times already on the show, how AI and Google AI is returning, that's the word I'm looking for, erroneous information. And I have another classic example of bad AI information through searches.
There's the noodle right there.
Oh, yeah.
Off this Roadside America website, which has all the quirky roadside attractions.
Oh, yeah.
And look, on it, it says the line that they paid that homeless guy to say.
You know you love it.
You know you love it.
Kraft macaroni and cheese. You know you love it.
Does anybody have $1?
Remember the homeless guy that was turned into a voiceover guy?
And it just gave him...
He was a homeless radio guy, which, by the way, is very common these days.
Very common.
Plenty of homeless radio guys because the industry is such a mess. So, listen, there is a giant noodle outside of, it's right across the street from a Phillips 66 gas station. Did you fill up there across the street?
I did, yeah. I let Philip fill me up.
All right, so listen, Google AI is saying that most Kraft macaroni and cheese is made in Wausau. So I don't know, did the plant get hit by a tornado?
Has there been a natural disaster
I don't know.
in Warsaw?
Why is Costco out of Kraft macaroni and cheese? What do you say? It's an 18-pack?
Yes.
Why are they out of the big cubed 18-pack of Kraft macaroni and cheese for weeks now? Anyway, so listen, this has nothing to do with why I wanted to bring up Costco again. You know what's a major problem? And, I've noticed this. And then I saw somebody complain on Reddit. Families walking completely shoulder to shoulder abreast, like at Costco, and just blocking anybody. You know what? I saw this. Like down some of the main aisles going from front to back at Costco, you've got like the main aisle on the left, you got the main aisle on the right, and then you have, the big aisles where they have the huge metal racks. And I've seen this more and more. People, like whole families, it's the husband, it's the wife, it's the 2 kids, 3 kids, whatever. And they're all walking like side by side.
That's weird.
Like a march. And they're like blocking people. And it's like, you got to stop. You got to go to the side. It's like, don't walk completely shoulder to shoulder abreast with your entire family and like act like a plow or like a bulldozer. You walk behind each other or 2 and 2. This is an issue. This is a problem. This is a major problem facing humanity right now. People that what do you?
I don't think it's a major problem for humanity, but I do think that's kind of weird.
No, Michelle, he's right. I've watched more news this weekend than I have in a while. Let me tell you, there's nothing else going on besides this very serious issue of people walking through membership clubs taking up the whole aisle. So it's the biggest thing because there's nothing else going on.
Nothing else.
Not a damn thing. But MJ, you're right. They take up the whole aisle. What I do is I get close to them and I say, all right, what the hell are we doing here?
Oh, you do? Really?
Yeah, because it happens at supermarkets too, because the supermarket aisle has seemed to have shrunken.
Yes,
I feel more constricted in some of these.
I hate that.
So you think over the decades that supermarket aisles are less wide?
While people become wider.
So Fester's getting larger and the supermarket aisle is getting smaller.
what happens is I think these older supermarkets, they want to give more space to like the produce and the bougie deli area.
Yeah.
And they tighten up the aisles.
Yeah, you take a foot out of each aisle
Yeah.
or so,
Yeah.
then suddenly you've got
Extra 20 feet.
You got more space to cram in there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I
yeah.
hate that.
But I feel my supermarket aisles are getting more and more narrow to where barely 2 carts can get by.
I agree.
And people block the lane. I walk into an aisle like, what the hell's going on here, people?
Yeah.
And then they realize I'm a large, rude man. They get out of the way, and I go make it right through. But yeah.
Hey, we haven't heard that jingle in a while.
But it's the truth. I mean, you have to say something, and I don't think they do it deliberately. It's not like they're you know marching in some kind of protest on the aisle of Costco. But you have to acknowledge, hey guys, coming through, or give them,
People say Fester is a large, rude man.
or you give them a beep beep.
Oh, you actually go beep beep
You
with
go,
your mouth?
Beep beep.
And they move?
Then they are out of their shopping trends.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, oh, sorry.
Hold on. You mouth hunk at people?
Listen, I am a prolific mouth honker.
People say Fester is a large, rude man.
Prolific.
7:51 at the MJ Morning Show.
All right, people have been texting me all day about your license
All right,
story.
This is insane. I said I'd do it about 7:50. Here we go, 7:50. Actually, 7:51. This story is insane, and I don't want this to happen to you. And I'm going to tell you right now, after I tell the story, there are going to be people that are going to follow my instructions to make sure that your driver license is valid. And there are going to be people listening right now that think they have a valid driver license and it's suspended. I had no idea that this had happened. And it was only by chance that it was discovered. And I found out on Saturday. So I did a Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office ride-along on Saturday. You know, I try to do numerous a year. I've been in the honorary deputy program. By the way, Dave Bautista, Tampa resident. Dave Bautista, the actor, former wrestler. Bautista was just inducted, and he was made also an honorary deputy in the program in Hillsborough County. I've been in the program since 1997 through Cal Henderson, through David G., and now Chad Cronister, the sheriff of Hillsborough County. So I did a ride-along on Saturday, and my car was parked at the district. It doesn't matter what district I was at. So my car is parked at the district. And listen, we've got a nice SUV, and, cops run tags all the time. And it is fully accepted. If you're sitting in traffic, you're at a red light, the cops are running tags. That's one of the things they do. To see if a license is valid, to see if, the car has insurance, to see if there are any warrants for the driver. So if you're sitting at a light and there's a cop near you, chances are they're running your plate or other people's plates. So cops run tags all the time. It's good. It's just good police work.
You come across a lot of people just by running tags.
Absolutely.
I've heard of them going through like parking lots of malls.
Absolutely. Or seedy motels.
And they have readers, and the readers do all the work. And then they get
no. Sometimes there are readers.
Okay.
Or you have license plate readers that are around. If you see those like little trailers with like the flashing lights on top and so a lot of times those are license plate readers, and they're at busy intersections. But no, most of the reading is done just manually.
Okay.
Just a cop seeing a tag and just running the tag. So my car is sitting at one of the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office offices, and this is a nice SUV. I guess one of the officers just ran my tag. Let's see. And my tag came back as suspended, or driver of the tag assigned to me suspended. So a deputy runs my tag, which they run tags all the time. Nothing wrong with it. It's standard procedure.
You're in their parking lot, absolutely.
And then was able to figure out or find out whose car that was and why are they here. And then it was found out that I was on a ride-along, and then they let the officer the deputy that I'm with know, by the way, your ride-along
is wanted. Oh my God. The felon is in the car with you.
Easiest catch.
I'm not a felon. So it came to my attention on Saturday afternoon that my license was suspended. So the computer returns the information, Florida suspended, and then the instructions are that you confiscate the driver license, you take the driver license, and you take the tag off the vehicle. So if I were pulled over by whatever law enforcement agency, the computer would have said, license for me, MJ, Todd Schnitt, suspended, take license and remove the tag from the car, and I'd be stuck on the side of the road.
Now, doesn't that sound like a fun time to have watched that body cam?
Oh, MJ, I would have requested that body cam footage in a second.
So
what do you mean? What are you talking about?
Oh, I have my insurance. Look, I paid it. I mean, he would be so argumentative and combative because he knows he's in the right. Correctly so. He has been paying his insurance. He received no notification, but...
Can I tell the story, please?
You go right ahead.
You're getting ahead of me.
Michelle, you just jumped to the last page.
Oh, no.
So Florida DMV had me driving around with no auto insurance. My license was suspended since December 4th of last year. I've been driving around for over 7 months. Over 7 months. What is it? December to January to February, March, April, May, June. Over 6 months. So almost 7 months.
Yeah.
All right. So I've been driving around with a suspended license. I got no notification. Nothing from DMV. Nothing from my insurance company. Our insurance payments are made every single month. It's just an automatic recurring charge on my American Express.
Do you have the same company?
So here's the deal. So people are commenting, you changed insurance companies. I didn't change any insurance company. Our insurance company has been USAA for auto for a very, very long time. That's our insurance company. So what happened in our lives? Why was my license suspended? How can you find out if your license is suspended right now? I'm going to tell you. Because after I was told my license was suspended, I did this. I'm like, son of a bitch. It says my license is not valid.
So it currently is still suspended?
No. I'm going to tell you what happened.
On a weekend, you got it unsuspended?
Yes.
Yeah.
I called Ron DeSantis. No, I'm kidding. Hold on. Folks, I'm going to tell you all of this right now. This is insane. Here's what must have happened. Our 2024 X5 SUV was totaled. It was in our garage during the flood during Helene. So our car was flooded in the garage, a total loss. USAA was phenomenal. The dealership wanted to fix the car. USAA went in and said, no, we're totaling this car. We don't want him driving around in this. Didn't get inside, but it seeped through the floor, and we didn't know it was under the carpet. Anyway, so USAA totals the car. That car was, I guess, reported as salvaged and canceled. In the meantime, we had a new X5 built very quickly. Had to make a couple of calls. Had a new X5 built very quickly. Our car was totaled during Helene, which would have been last September.
September, yeah.
Like September 28th or something like that, 26, 28, whatever Helene was, last September. And then the car worked for like a week. The car was really running, but I was starting to get warnings. The car was still running, but I was getting warnings. And that's why I brought it into the shop. So this was, let's see, probably first to going on second week of October. The car went into the shop because we were getting the warning lights. And that's when it was discovered, nope, got big problems here.
So was your car in the shop during Hurricane Milton?
It was.
So Milton was like the 10th, 9th, 10th.
It was in the shop.
Of October.
Yeah, it was. And then I had a rental car you know what? Veterans Ford, a great client. Veterans Ford gave me an F-150 to drive. They were phenomenal. So we get the new X5 built very quickly. And they're built up in South Carolina. We took delivery of the new X5 built from scratch on November 15th. And I want to thank BMW of Tampa, by the way. So BMW of Tampa and Kurt, they were phenomenal. They helped, they had an allocation, and then we were able to get the car built very quickly. So thanks to Kurt Dooley and BMW of Tampa, they were very, very helpful in getting me the new vehicle. So we get the new X5 on November 15th, so very quickly for a BMW. And everything's kosher. My new insurance, I walk in there with my new insurance card that I already printed out because I already had the new VIN number. So new insurance, everything apparently was kosher.
Apparently not.
I'm paying my insurance every month. I've got the new insurance card for the 2025 X5 now. But when BMW Financial, the lease company, when they, I guess, notified Florida that my old VIN was salvaged or the car was deemed a total loss, something crossed, and my new vehicle with my new VIN, my new insurance with USAA, same company, I didn't shift company, something got crossed. And they determined that the old canceled vehicle had no insurance. It still had the same tag. So the tag for my old vehicle went on to the new, I've had the same tag for years. And it went on to the new vehicle, and something got crossed, and the new VIN was not attached. Somehow that was determined in the Florida DMV computer through some kind of a cross with misinformation that I had no insurance. So they cancel. The state of Florida cancels my driver's license, suspends my driver license on December 4th, 2 weeks after I took delivery of the new car with full insurance.
And doesn't tell you.
No one notified me. BMW, the insurance company.
Well, why would BMW notify you?
Well, BMW, they knew the car was insured. So they would not have notified me.
Well, the leasing company would have, because it's a requirement of the lease to have it insured.
Right, but it sounds like an issue between you and the state.
Oh, absolutely.
That was the state. So BMW, they knew I had insurance because they have the new USAA insurance policy. Something happened with the state, and with the old car going away and no insurance on that vehicle anymore, it didn't get switched at the state. So here, they suspend my license. I had no idea I was driving around since December 4th of last year with a suspended license. If I were pulled over, I was supposed to have my license confiscated by the cops, and they were supposed to unscrew the tag on the vehicle, leaving me stranded on the side of the road.
Oh, my God.
And not hog tie you and haul you off?
That would have been the best body cam footage ever.
Right?
Cuffed and stuffed, driven through the Sally Port.
Imagine just pulling up on MJ and telling him his license is suspended.
Oh.
He would have flipped out.
Well, because there's no freaking way in hell my license is suspended. All right, so what do you do? How do you find out if you're driving on a suspended license right now? You might be. I'm going to tell you how to figure this out. And when I was told my license was suspended, I was already home. And I got a note, Rutro. And it was like, your license is suspended because another officer had run the tag. And then the story got back to me. I'm like, it's not suspended. So I go on to the Florida DMV website. And folks, you can go onto the site right now. Just do a Google search for Florida driver license check. And you'll get the FLHSMV website. And it's the driver license check. Again, just Google Florida driver license check. And you'll get the page FLHSMV. And it'll say driver license check. And you just put in your driver license number. For me, it's the S for my last name, and then so you put in the number, then you just put in the capture code to make sure it's not like a bot or something, and then you hit enter, and it will tell you if your license is valid. And I did mine after I was told I was suspended. I typed mine in, and sure as hell, it comes back, my license is not valid. I'm like, what the living F? What do you mean my license is not valid? Since this, and then it even said, my license was suspended since December 4th of 2024. And here we are, the middle of freaking June 2025.
Please turn yourself in immediately to local police.
What? All right, well, it'll tell you right away. You do the search, you type in the information, takes 5 seconds, and it'll tell you whether you're valid or not. Then also, on the page that said I'm not valid, there was like a sentence about, have you updated your auto insurance? There was a link. So I click on the link from the page that says I'm suspended, and then it brings me to another page, and it asks you to enter your insurance company. There's a drop-down box with all of the approved insurance companies in Florida. So I scroll down to USAA all the way at the bottom, and then I pull out my insurance card. I have, valid insurance. I type in my policy number. I hit enter, and it says, thank you, your information is updated. I immediately refresh the page. I put in my license number again, my driver license. Boop, I'm suddenly valid. So as of, this was Saturday, the 14th. As of, 5:29 p.m., Saturday, June 14th, 2025, your license is valid. So it instantly updated me on a Saturday. DMV's closed.
That's amazing.
The computer instantly updated me.
Because this sounds like something you'd have to sit at the DMV
Oh, yeah.
for like 5 hours.
I'm like, oh, my God. I got to make an appointment. I can't drive. Oh, my, Michelle, because now I know. Before I had no idea I was suspended. So now I technically know that my license is suspended.
Here was his biggest fear. Because guess who was not suspended?
You? Chloe?
Me.
Well, it's only the owner of the car.
Yeah.
The car's registered. Is
In
it
my
only,
name.
Only
I guess it's only in my name.
I was going to be the designated driver until he got it resolved.
I'm like,
he did not like that.
Like, what a nightmare. Now I got to go to DMV. I've got no appointment. I'm going to have to sit there for hours, maybe days.
Like some schmuck.
Like just a total schmuck.
I would have told you to Uber there.
Michelle wouldn't even have taken me to DMV. So that's my story, and that's how you can check to see if you're valid. But this is a screw-up that I had no idea. I mean, so, to police officers, when someone says, hey, I had no idea my insurance was, I've got insurance. And a lot of times, oh, yeah, likely story. No, this is a true story.
Yeah.
All right, so that's how you resolve it. I mean, what an insane, crazy situation. I've never had a suspended license in my life, and then I find out I'm driving around on a suspended license for over 6 months.
You haven't had a legal license all year.
I mean, holy frig.
Yeah, what a felon.
Dude. 800, if anyone has any comment on this, the craziest freaking story. Has this happened to you? I mean, you're trying to tell a cop, but I have insurance. I mean, I would have been in that conversation. What do you mean I'm not insured? What do you mean you're taking my license and my tag and I'm stuck on the side of the road?
How combative would you have gotten with this officer just doing his job?
Listen, if a Tampa cop would have pulled me over, they might have known me. If a Hillsborough County
doesn't matter.
sheriff,
doesn't matter
deputy
if they know
sheriff,
you or not.
hold a minute. But, I might have had time to resolve it or go into license check right there at the scene. And I'm what I thought under pressure, what I have thought to go check my license and then hit the link and update my insurance. I was like, okay, officer, go check your computer now. I'm now valid.
All right, well, let's say, let's say you're driving through Dixie County.
Well, hold on a minute.
Right?
No,
you're driving through Dixie County, going 2 miles over the limit.
I forget that. Just on the interstate, what if a trooper pulled me over? I don't know a lot of troopers. And a lot of the troopers are young.
Yeah.
And not from around here and might not even know who the hell I am. And, maybe say, you're obviously you're not a felon or you're not. Who knows what would have happened? But I
would have tore your vehicle apart looking for stuff if I were the trooper.
Then they would have assumed that I was
Call out the canines?
Yeah, call out the dogs.
I was hauling meth.
Yeah.
All right. Look at the phones. Phones are lit up here. 800-990-1047. I'll grab a couple of calls before we move on. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Every single line is lit up here. Let's start with Bruce in Pinellas Park. Bruce, you're on the MJ Morning Show on 104.7 FM, Q105. Hello, Bruce.
Hey, good morning, MJ. How you doing?
Doing well.
Well, my story beats yours. I was a Hillsborough County Reserve deputy for 3 years in the early 80s.
Yep.
And which means I have complete arrest powers as long as I'm with a regular deputy.
Yep.
So we ride Friday night. The deputy lets me drive. We pull over a guy, arrest him for DUI. The next night, I ride with the same deputy, and just for the heck of it, we were practicing running license and they ran my license, and it was suspended.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God! And what happened? Did they you can't drive anymore?
Well, I couldn't even ride until I got it fixed.
Yeah.
Because,
All right. So what was the issue? Why was your license suspended?
it was a mix-up on the date or something. I can't even remember. It's been so long. But I couldn't ride because if something happened to him, I couldn't drive.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I got it fixed. The next Monday. But I'm driving a police car, arresting a guy, and my license is suspended.
That's insane. And the funny thing, and this is what's hysterical. So, Bruce, on my ride along, and I've done 100 ride alongs over the years because I've been in the honorary deputy program for almost 30 years now. And
Yeah, I've heard you talking about it.
yeah, one of the actual traffic stops on Saturday was on I think it was on 301, and it was a guy with an expired tag, and again had to take the guy's tag. And here, 2 hours later, the guy had a suspended license and an invalid tag, and it had to be taken. And here, I showed up at the computer as the same exact thing. Unbelievable.
What a felon.
Yeah. All right. Oh, and then there was a crazy Fester out your
If you
way.
ever get pulled over by a deputy, make sure his license is valid.
Yeah. Ask. Hey, I want to run your license. Thanks, Bruce. Appreciate the call. And then as far as my ride along on Saturday, the last thing before I went home and before I found out my license was suspended, we had a little bit of a chase. We had a chase and a bailout, and a perp ran into the woods. Hold on, I'll tell that story in just a second. First, let me grab Kay in St. Pete. Kay, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi, Kay.
Good morning, MJ. You know what? I'm glad your lawyer wife is in the studio with you this morning because I have a question about an incident that happened to me. I was helping a friend move, and I guess the landlord had called the police because she wanted to make sure everything was going smoothly. I apologize for my voice this morning. Anyway, so I was helping my friend move, and as we were loading the things up in my car, they must have ran my tag and looked at my license and everything. One of the officers walks over to me, asks me if I'm the owner of the vehicle. So I said yes. So we get everything loaded up. We're driving down the road, and
Yes.
Are you still there?
We're listening.
We're on
Sorry,
pins
you're
and
not saying
needles,
anything.
Kay.
Okay. Anyway, we're driving down the road. They pull me over, and he tells me, my license is suspended. And I'm like, what? So I get out of the car. He tells me I'm arrested. My license is suspended. So I get out of the car. They seat me in the back seat of the police car. They ended up letting me go when they found out I didn't have any prior arrests or anything.
Yeah. Yep.
But they did take my tag, and that left me stuck on the side of the road with no tag. I couldn't take my car, whatever. They gave me a notice to appear in court. So, and I went to court, and it ended up being dismissed. It turns out my insurance had lapsed, but I put insurance on my car. I was young at the time. I didn't know you're supposed to return your tag when you cancel your insurance. So about 4 months later, I got a new car, got insurance on that car with the same tag, and because of that, and then my license was suspended after that.
All right, what can we help you with?
It seems like it happened a while ago.
So,
And don't assume my wife knows everything about anything legal.
I get it. So my question is, because I was helping my friend put stuff in my car, and the officer came over and asked me if I was the owner of the vehicle, they knew my license was suspended before I got in the car and drove away. So wouldn't that be entrapment?
No.
No.
You willfully drove on the road afterwards.
Exactly. No, it's not. It's not entrapment at all.
They didn't try to trick you into.
Okay.
No.
They asked you a question. You
Yep.
didn't have to answer them.
Kay, thanks for calling.
Okay, have a good day.
Kay, you
Not
sound like a
entrapment.
real scourge in society.
Kay,
Old Kay driving crazy. He's no license.
Terry and Hudson, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi, Terry.
Hey, MJ, I got a question for you. So now is your insurance going to go up because you've had a suspended license within the past 2 years?
Say it again.
Your rate will go higher.
Oh,
You're on
yeah.
record
Is your
now for having a
insurance going to go up because
No.
you've now had a suspended license
No,
within 3 years?
it shouldn't because, first of all, they didn't report it to anybody. No one notified me, and my insurance company they know what I'm driving, and I'm paying them every month for my insurance. There's no issue, no lapse. So it's almost like a computer thing. I don't know if it doesn't get, if it didn't get reported in 6 months, all my insurance company cares about is that there are no infractions. I've got no tickets that are reported, and they think I'm paying my insurance because I am.
They just want
That's
that
it.
check.
That's it.
Give me that big check every month.
It was like a behind-the-scenes DMV snafu. All right, thanks, Terry. 3 more calls, then I got to move on. We got Steve in Newport Richie. Steve, hi, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Good morning, everybody.
Hey.
Yeah, I had the same problem here in Port Richey. I got divorced and left my wife with the truck and tags, and I bought a new car and everything else. But I got pulled over, and they said, you had an old Ford truck? I said, yeah, that's my wife's. She said, well, it's under your name, and the license plate was never returned, and your license has been revoked. And my brother was a captain in Pasco County Sheriff, and he knew him. And he said, well, listen, I won't arrest you or nothing, but you have to have someone come here and drive this truck back.
Wow.
And I asked him, I says, how come no one notifies us? And they said, they don't notify you. You got to call up and check your license every year.
There you go. MJ figured that out.
Yeah.
Well, guess what, folks? Again, go to Google. Go to Google right now. Thanks for the call, Steve. Go to Google and just type in Florida license check. And make sure you're going to the actual DMV website. It'll say FLHSMV or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So go to and then you just put in your driver license number, and then you enter the little CAPTCHA code so they make sure you're not a robot. And then it'll tell you whether your license is valid as of right now. So guess what? I am going to start doing that. Like, I'm going to set up every 3-month reminder, check to see if license is valid, to make sure there's not another DMV screw-up. Stro is in Wesley Chapel. Stro and Chalet, and that's it. I got to move on. Stro, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
MJ and the crew, good morning, good morning.
Hey, go ahead.
Hey, I got a red light camera ticket. I was unaware of it, so, I must have run a red light or something like that, unaware. They sent it to me in the mail. But I hadn't changed my driver's license, my address on my driver's license. So they sent it to my old address. So the red light I didn't pay it because I was unaware of it, and they suspended my driver's license.
Oh wow!
Oh
yeah.
And I finally found out they actually scheduled a court date.
Yeah.
And I actually found out about 3 days before the court date. Went in.
Yeah.
Hey, take it. If you ever get one, take it to court. The judge automatically drops it down to $100.
Gotcha. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. One last call. Chalet in Tampa. Chalet MJ Morning Show.
Hey, guys. What's up?
Hey, go ahead.
My husband and I recently found out, this just happened a couple of months ago, we were riding, both of us, on a suspended license for 10 months by the hands of the insurance company.
But hold on. You're on hands-free. Try and talk a little louder into the mic.
There, put it to my. My husband and I were driving around on a suspended license for 10 months.
10 months.
And found out 2 months ago.
Yep.
He was coming home at the crack of dawn from the gym, and near our home, they're cracking down on the speeding, which is fantastic. So they were just doing warnings. He got pulled over for going like 5 over.
Yep.
So they took his license, ran it, came back, said, did you know it's suspended? Absolutely not. We didn't know. Our insurance is current, all that good stuff. So, of course, he said, I'll trust you'll ride straight home because they will take your car, your license, your plate, and arrest you. Any of those or all of the above. So we called Geico and the DMV to get it straightened out. And what happened was my son became of driving age. He was automatically added to our policy. I decided for liability issues, I'd rather have him on his own policy. So instead of when we rewrote the policy altogether, they sent in the cancellation, but they never sent the renewal. The consequences of that, the repercussions of that for us as people is detrimental, but we have no recourse.
And for me, unbeknownst to me, going from the totaled flood car from Helene to the brand new one, everything was straight with BMW Financial Leasing. Everything was straight with USAA, my insurance company, but something got crossed with DMV. And here I'm riding around for 6+ months without a valid license. Just insanity.
And what would you have done when you were arrested in front of your audience somewhere? I manage commercial properties.
Right.
Had I been somewhere and got pulled over and arrested in front of but there's no recourse. It is what it is. So
yeah, crazy stuff. Thanks for the call, Chalet.
You want to talk about an Instagram video that would have gotten 1 billion hits.
Oh, yeah.
MJ in downtown Tampa.
Body cam footage.
Right.
MJ getting, hauled away on the interstate.
Two things. One, when you switch insurance or you cancel an insurance company, that spiteful, vindictive insurance company immediately will report you as we're no longer their provider, and it's your responsibility to tell them the new stuff.
But I'm with the same company. I didn't change.
No, but it doesn't matter. Listen,
I'm getting back to you. But
Fester's bottom line is what?
When you cancel your insurance, let's say you go from insurance company A to insurance company Z, those vindictive bastards who take
So
your
if
money,
I go from the Lizard to Flo?
Yeah. The Lizard will say, "I crikey." Son of a bitch. No, they will immediately report you to the state as
no insurance.
No longer valid.
No longer valid.
And then it's completely on you. And your new company doesn't always bridge that. And I've known a lot of
But
people.
again, the point is that I never change companies.
Right, with you.
Okay, but the bottom line is that ultimately it's the driver's responsibility to make sure your license is active or valid by having insurance. And hey, if you have any change in your insurance, just make sure it all goes through.
And with Helene and Milton, a bunch of people have transitioned cars in the last year because of those events.
I'm telling you right now, just do a Google check. Do a Florida driver license check on Google. Make sure you're at the FLHSMV website. Type in your info. It'll tell you whether your license is valid or not.
I also need to take a second because I owe you an apology.
You owe me an apology?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Why do I feel like I'm walking into a trap? Go ahead.
You're not.
Okay.
You're not. I don't appreciate that. I don't offer apologies often.
Okay.
But when I saw that your license was suspended.
Yes.
I instantly thought you missed a child support payment for your secret family.
Oh, that's...
I was like, he has a secret family, Allison.
Yeah.
I told you.
That's,
He missed the payment, that son of a bitch. He's a deadbeat dad.
Another way to get your license suspended is not paying child support.
I thought you had a
that
secret
is true.
family.
That's another way to get your license suspended.
She's just getting a check every month, keeping her mouth shut. Now, boom, she got you.
Listen to this. I don't know what it is with Costco this morning, but I get an email over the weekend. Love your show. Just want to let you know that a couple of your segments on this past Wednesday show where you referenced walking in Memphis and then the story about the lady in Costco gave me inspiration to create this.
Okay.
So a listener, hang on, I've got his name here.
I remember last week we did something with the Walking in Memphis song. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I mentioned Walking in Memphis. And so this guy, let me find his email. So he sends me a song. Where is the damn thing? So, yeah, so the guy sends me a song that he wrote. I'll come up with the guy's name because I want to give him credit. But he took Costco and Walking in Memphis, and a listener actually created this.
Put on my slip-on shoes and got in my car. Went down to that big store I knew wasn't very far. I asked customer service, could you please help me? Yeah, I don't yet have a membership, 'cause I'm as new as a boy can be. And I was walking in Costco. I was looking for my next 30 meals. Walking in Costco. Hoping that I find other great deals. Saw the Costco food.
All right, so
is this the whole song?
It's 4 minutes and 25 seconds.
God.
It's all I'm playing.
We should play that for terrorists in Guantanamo, man.
I love the original song.
That is torture. Oh my God.
I'm trying to find. You know what it was? He sent me a direct message, and then I forwarded my direct message to email to get the link because I couldn't open up the link on my phone, and I can't find his DM right now. But whoever you are, I'm sorry I can't find your DM. If you ever want to send me something like that, just email me, mj@mjmorningshow.com. That's mj@mjmorningshow.com. And he sent me a YouTube link where he had uploaded the Walking in Costco song. So anyway, I'll try and go through and find his name, but it's somewhere stuck in my my DMs. I've got more audio that I need to play here, and I think this story is getting misrepresented. This is floating around. I've seen this on a bunch of aggregation sites, and the New York Post had this. Mediaite had this. I think it was on Fark. I mean, a bunch of websites have this, and I think the take is wrong. So the headline from the New York Post is, Los Angeles chopper reporter goes on bizarre rant about marriage issues, love of booze during a broadcast. I'm like, you know what? Let me read a little bit of the story. A Los Angeles news reporter went on a bizarre booze-loving, heartbroken rant about during a live chopper broadcast of local No Kings protests on Saturday. So you had these protests around the country on Saturday, and that's not what this is about. The reporter is up in the chopper for Fox 11 in Los Angeles, and they're going from scene to scene, downtown L.A., then they're going to Torrance, then they're going to Culver City, and they're flying around, and the chopper pilot's flying the chopper, the helicopter. The reporter is on a computer, and he's doing the narration. He's doing the live reporting from the chopper, and the guy's well known. The reporter's name is Stu Mundell, a longtime helicopter reporter for Fox 11 in Los Angeles, and says that had a live therapy session about his separation from his wife, and then he's talking about boozing it up, and he's flying over downtown Culver City. I think they were headed to Torrance. Listen, the spin and twist on this story is wrong. He wasn't just ranting. He was answering questions. So Fox 11, they were live streaming on YouTube the entire chopper flight as they were going from various protests in the Los Angeles area on Saturday.
So he's just giving a bunch of answers and no context?
Listen, while he's on YouTube Live, the whole chopper flight is being broadcast on YouTube, and the comments are open. So he's got thousands of people that are watching the live stream, and some people are typing in questions. And one of the questions apparently was, do you like bourbon? Do you like whiskey? And then something about, hey, are you asking about, are you married? Are you this? Or that? And he's answering questions. He's actually responding to the viewers that are typing in questions on YouTube. And then some people are taking the story and twisting it like, oh, my God, there's this unhinged traffic and news reporter up in the chopper. And people were wondering, is he flying it? No, he wasn't flying the chopper. He's got a pilot. So I've got the audio here. I want to play some of this.
Let me let you in on some pilot lingo. It's called a bag of gas. We do a bag of gas. Bag. Just like me. Bag of bones.
I mean, the guy's just, having fun. And he's not reporting. He's like answering questions while they're flying from one scene to the other.
On a YouTube stream.
On a YouTube stream.
Not on TV.
It's not live on Fox 11 in Los Angeles. This was a YouTube stream.
Mm-hmm. Stewie bag of donuts. All right, we're going to Torrance. I'm so confused. Yes, I love bourbon.
All right, so somebody asked him, do you like bourbon?
Yes, I love bourbon.
In the chat on YouTube, someone asks him, do you like bourbon? There's nothing wrong with this guy.
Yeah.
He's not some drunk guy sipping on bourbon. Somebody asked him, hey, Stewie, you like bourbon? He says, yes, I like bourbon.
I do. I do love the bourbon. I love the whiskey, love the bourbon. Love the gin. Do love the gin. Oh, man, there it goes again. All right, kids. We're making our way to Torrance. I'd give you an ETA, but I don't really know the address for the Torrance City Hall. Let me see if I can pull that up. This touchscreen is driving me crazy, man. About 7 minutes away. 7 minutes away. If you guys are keeping up with us, and we're 7 minutes away from our next location.
So they're going from Culver City.
This video is fascinating.
To Torrance.
Because all it is the cam underneath the stable cam underneath the helicopter, and you're just flying and hovering over the greater Los Angeles area.
Yeah, doing 110 knots and just, flying over the 405, headed to Torrance from Culver City.
And this guy is just sitting there with an open mic. just talking to whoever's listening.
There apparently thousands of people were on the live stream, and they're asking questions, and he's just answering questions. Listen.
Go grab a snack, go hit the bathroom, do what you need to do.
So we'll be in Torrance in 7 minutes. If you got to go to the bathroom, grab a snack. We're going to be flying for 7 minutes.
Answer is yes. You know what? I don't care. I don't care about my. I am married. I am legally married. I am legally married. That's about the only way you can really say it. I am legally married.
So somebody asked a question about his relationship status. I don't know if it's known whether he's separated or legally married, or whether he's dating, has a wife. So he's obviously commenting on this now.
But I am not looking at now at all. I just had a bunch of debacles with my personal life. Yes, it's true. I know. It's hard to believe. Somebody that doesn't even know what he's talking about in a relationship. But, I got nothing right now. Got nothing. Not really looking.
So someone must have, are you in a relationship? What's your status? And he's candidly talking while he's flying to the next protest event on Saturday over L.A.
Yeah.
You know, trying to find myself and be happy. I'm being serious about that. I want to be beholden to no one at this moment.
Good for him.
You know, do I get lonely? Of course. Of course. But I got cats. Oh.
All right, this guy's having just an open mic conversation, but he's on the news channel's dime.
But it's being misrepresented. Some of the news sites are misrepresenting the story. Yeah. Unhinged, bizarre rant. There's nothing bizarre. People are asking questions. He's answering questions. Right. He's being a normal human, and he's answering questions.
No, hold on.
It's like Dennis Phillips live.
Yeah, but if Dennis Phillips starts talking about his affection for different kinds of boozes and talking about the current situation in his marriage,
there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing right about it either. I mean, you're working for the company here.
There's nothing wrong with this. He's answering questions. There's a few more seconds.
Come on, life and dude. You know what? You can talk crap about me all you want. I love it. Live it. Drink it in like a good Pepsi or Coke or Cola. But when you start talking crap about my pilot, I said it again, the pilot, man, which one? Somebody said fly over your ex-wife's house. I'm like, which one? All right, arriving at Torrance. Woo, they're causing some traffic. Woo.
Anyway, he wasn't actually reporting yet. He's just filling time while they're flying there. There's nothing wrong with this Stu Mundell. The story's being twisted, and some news sites like the New York Post and others are trying to, bizarre rant. Was he boozed up? No, someone asked him, do you like bourbon? And he's saying, yeah, I love bourbon. I like the whiskey.
And 90% of this is legitimate reporting of the protests and the fact, and he's killing time while he's getting there.
Listen, bottom line is, come to the MJ Morning Show to set crap straight. That ought to be our slogan. The MJ Morning Show, setting crap straight since 1994.
Here's the other side of it. Yeah. He has to talk. He feels like he has to talk. Instead of him just shutting the mic off and unkeying the mic.
Right.
He's just shut up.
Yeah, they're live streaming.
Get to your destination.
You know what? We need local chopper pilots or chopper reporters. I need local reporters for the TV stations. I need them... I need them talking about their personal life and their alcoholic beverage preferences. Yeah. I think that'll add to some of the... speaking of helicopters and locally, I don't know what this is. And Fester, you sent me this. I saw it as well. Man arrested for shining laser at HCSO helicopter. What is the matter with people? I mean, how many stories do you have to hear over years and years? People that have been arrested, charged with a felony for shining a laser pointer up at a helicopter. And now we've got the latest. According to the HCSO, just after midnight on Saturday, an arrest was made after some jackwagon shined a laser up at a HCSO helicopter over Riverview. Yeah, they were hit numerous times with a green laser beam. The vision of the crew was temporarily impaired, so there was endangerment to the aircraft, clearly. And again, these lasers, watch the video. Watch when the sheriffs or police departments, watch when they release the video. The laser is like a pinpoint to your exact location.
I can legitimately see in this guy's living room.
They
It's
know.
incredible.
I mean, they know the exact place, the house, the window. They can see it. It's like a GPS right to where you are. So if you think you can shine a laser, they're up high, we're down low, they'll never know where I'm coming from. No, they see exactly. I mean, to the window on the house where the laser is coming from. You moron! You jackass!
You know, I'm watching this video and you can see the green laser, and then when it hits the camera or inside the cockpit at the right angle, you can see how debilitating it really is.
Yeah, deputies tracked the laser to a mobile home in the 10,000 block of Joanna Avenue in Riverview, where they found the laser, and the arrest was of one James Cardamone. It ought to be James Cardamoron. Is what it's James Cardamone. James Cardamoron, 58 years old. You're 58 years old in a single wide shining lasers and helicopters. Son, that's no way to go through life.
I mean, life hasn't quite worked out.
I guess not. Charged with misuse of a laser lighting device. I mean, don't be an idiot.
Is that a serious crime?
Oh, yeah, I think it's
Use of a laser lighting device?
I think it's a class 3 felony.
Is it?
If you, yeah.
Okay.
Look it up. I don't want to,
I don't care that
I don't want to
much.
spread misinformation.
But
Doesn't the story say what he's arrested for?
It said the charge.
I believe that's a felony charge. Just type in a Google.
Oh, I don't care that
Michelle,
much.
you can do this faster.
Laser.
Michelle, go to.
I don't know.
What's the charge again?
Michelle, just type in, is shining a laser at a helicopter a felony in Florida? Just type that into Google. I believe it's a felony charge. Michelle can type faster than you can
I
even.
don't know.
She can.
But my machine goes slower.
All right, go ahead. You got it?
Felony, is it?
What do you have?
According to AI, it says yes, shining a laser at an aircraft, including a helicopter,
is a federal crime in the United States and can be charged as a felony. Can be charged as a felony. Federal criminal penalties up to 5 years in prison and $250,000 fine. So I don't know if Hillsborough, I'm sure they charged him under Florida statute.
Florida statute's right below.
Yeah, online sunshine. There we go.
Yeah.
Any person knowingly or willfully shining. I lost my spot. Oh, here you go.
Knowingly or willfully shines, points, or focuses the beam of a laser lighting device at a law enforcement officer engaged in the performance of his or her official duties in such a manner would be cause reasonable person to believe anyway. Also people might think it's a laser for a firearm, for a laser.
All right.
Yeah, so it looks like it's a felony.
The point is, you don't want to be doing this, guy.
No.
A felony of the second degree, punishable as provided in. Yeah. Wow. So it is.
I mean, 58 years old. Let's shine a laser at the helicopter.
We've had some stupid baby names over the years.
Yeah.
It seems like once, twice, 3 times a year we have a story about baby names and some kind of a Reddit discussion. Oh, my friend, I'm trying to talk him out of the baby name. I was joking around. I suggested an awful baby name and they took it. We get these. Listen to this one. A mom-to-be has been absolutely excoriated. Again, this is a Reddit discussion. This is bizarre. A parent put out a baby shower notice. Please join us for a baby shower.
Oh, no.
Join us to celebrate the upcoming arrival of a little bundle of joy in honor of Chernobyl Hope.
Holy crap. Oh, my God.
Look at Michelle's face.
Oh,
Andrew,
great.
Andrew, you see, we need all cameras to be up at once. We'll have that in the new studio. But Michelle's face was like, what?
No, this is a joke.
Yeah.
I don't think it is.
Chernobyl.
The baby shower invitation is Chernobyl Hope. They're naming their baby Chernobyl after one of the worst nuclear disasters. What was worse, Fukushima after the Japan earthquake? Or I think Chernobyl still is worse than Fukushima. But you're naming your little girl after one of the worst nuclear reactor meltdown accidents in the history of humanity? The name Chernobyl? Where you've got dogs running around with 7 legs?
She's going to call her Cherry for short.
Or Cher.
Cher. I thought Cher because you guess what?
Ew.
You can't spell Chernobyl without if I could turn back time without Cher.
So listen, okay.
What?
Take the devastating nuclear accident.
It's not nuclear. It's
I don't care.
nuclear.
Again, don't care. Take away the devastating accident out of the equation.
Yeah.
Chernobyl is a
No, it's not. It's terrible. It's a terrible name.
It sounds like a.
It's
Cher,
awful.
It's Cher, and then the word noble. I can see it. I mean,
oh no, Cher is noble.
Yeah, well, Cher.
Chernobyl.
Chernobyl.
Cher is very noble.
I mean, but man, what a terrible. Generally, Chernobyl disaster is considered to be worse than Fukushima, according to AI.
Okay, well, thank you. And I will get into AI in just a bit because AI continues to spit out erroneous information.
Over the weekend, I had a buddy who had a grandchild, and they named the kid a very questionable name.
What?
Jeff.
What?
Who the hell names a kid Jeff?
You know what? There's not a lot of Jeff. Oh, speaking of Jeff.
I mean, if you know a Jeff under 30, I mean, take a picture.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna name him Jeff.
Agree.
I was like, is it a family name? They go, nope, no Jeffs.
What kind of gift do you bring to Chernobyl's baby shower? Like a
hazmat suit?
Exactly. Like iodine pills.
Something like
you know.
You stitch extra legs onto the teddy bear.
Oh, Fester!
You buy 3 teddy bears.
You bring a teddy bear with an arm coming out of its head.
Yes.
That's what you do. Or like 5 eyeballs.
Oh.
A teddy bear with 5 eyeballs.
Listen, nothing but blessings for baby Chernobyl.
Baby Chernobyl.
Listen, nothing but the best.
That's a terrible. All right, speaking of Jeff.
Yes.
There has been some movement in the Jeff Knight issue. Of course. No, Jeff Knight, the boater.
Yeah.
The Clearwater boater, Jeff Knight, with his personal pleasure craft that ran on top of the Clearwater Ferry. And there's actually a lot of information that's come out since Friday and over the weekend. So, Michelle, my wife and legal advisor here on the MJ Morning Show, you've kind of combed over the latest data according to news reports?
Well, we just know a little bit of more information now. If we remember the he was driving that thing like a night hole just flying over the water.
Right.
Ran up on that ferry. Couldn't even get off of it until he put it in reverse. And some witnesses claim that actually did a little more damage or caused a little more injury.
That's terrible.
But we know now.
And of course, we have a father that died.
Yes. We now know that the boat was actually seized at that moment in time. And there's now been a warrant to.
All right, let's go slowly here.
Yeah.
So, it's a lot of information.
So now we know that the Florida Wildlife, the FWC, they did seize the boat. So they're in possession of Jeff Knight's boat. All right, that's number 1.
Right. And so, his lawyer, Hayhole, tried to give out a couple of letters there, mitigating his criminal, charges and civil responsibility.
Is that Jeff Hazlett? What's Hazlett's name? What's his
Kevin.
first name?
Kevin.
Oh, Kevin.
Yeah.
So Kevin Hazlett, lawyer to the bad boaters. That's his claim now, I guess.
Listen.
Lawyer to the stars. Give me a freaking break. Lawyer to the stars.
So
he gave himself that title. Lawyer to the bad boaters. Kevin Hazlett, representing Jeff Knight. Go ahead.
So remember in those letters, he tried to explain Nighthole's actions after the crash and said, he stayed on the scene and he was helping out. And we now know that, in fact, he didn't really stay on the scene. He sort of motored around for about 10 minutes and then he left, passing 2 law enforcement agencies on the way to some dock that's nearby. I think Fester may know.
Yeah. So Jeff Knight left the scene.
But he went to the Bel Air dock, which is about 3.5 miles away.
Yeah.
But listen, according to reports, he passed other law enforcement vessels that were headed to the scene.
Yeah.
Didn't try to flag them down. Didn't try to stop them, say, hey, I'm the boat involved. Just let the other law enforcement boats go right by him as he was getting away.
And here's the thing. You know what they noticed? His boat was not taking on water like he said.
Right.
That's why he left.
Right. So now there's a claim with media reports that came out that the boat was not taking on water. He had claimed that he had to leave because his boat was sinking. And now the claim is that the boat was not taking on water.
Yeah.
So not taking on water. Oh, then I also saw a report that he did not render the aid that he claimed.
Right. There's a little dispute about that, too.
Right.
I shouldn't say little. A lot of witnesses say no. So while he did push the ferry to land, I guess, but it was in shallow water at that place, and he's claiming he left because they were concerned for the 8-week-old baby, that there might have been some injury there. That's where all of the first responders were going, was to that location. And remember what they said. They were overwhelmed. They had 40-something passengers coming off the ferry. It was dark. They didn't know who was injured to what degree. It was hard to, assess the situation. Could he have possibly rendered a little more aid by staying there and actually facilitated the investigation? Like, hey, I'm the guy who ran up on. Let's go. Here's, let me help out in any way. No, in fact, the witnesses that were on board said that he was already worried, saying, oh my God, I'm going to lose everything, leaving the scene. And, you got to question, like, does that really sound like somebody who was interested in rendering aid?
So his lawyer, what do you call him? Hayhole?
Hayhole.
Hayhole?
Well, you said I can't say the other word, so,
right.
I think people get the idea.
So Hazlett has got to be waiting for charges to be filed at any minute.
Well, here's the thing.
You got to believe that people were wondering why charges haven't been filed. It seems that
I'm one of those people.
It seems they got to be.
Listen,
charges must be pending, and they must be on the way at some point.
Why weren't they charged that night?
Right.
The next day.
Yeah.
After that awful press conference that the police had.
So they seized the boat. So they have engine data. They have, I think, GPS data.
Right. And whatever that GPS also, I think there's a computer on board that documents all kinds of stuff. So, apparently he's saying, my life is over. I'm going to lose everything as he leaves the scene. That's in the statements that Hayhole provided, the handwritten statements from the witnesses that were on board to the police department, I guess the Florida Wildlife Commission. But keep in mind, this Hayhole also represented Nick Balea back when he had the car accident. And you know what's interesting? Because I went back and looked up that case.
With Graziano.
Right. When he was being questioned at that time when he was representing Nick Balea, he said, no comment. Nick will meet and answer these charges in the appropriate arena, a court of law. And in this case, man, he just came out swinging with all kinds of statements from his client that are now going to be refuted, 40-fold, right? Like, do you think any witness there is going to say, oh, no, man, he jumped out and threw me a life raft? No, he didn't. And it's a lot of it's on video.
I think we have Jeff Knight.
I'm never going to financially recover from this.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's Joe Exotic. I'm sorry. That's Joe Exotic from the Tiger King when the employee had their arm ripped off by a tiger at the park.
I'm never going to financially recover from this.
A terrible situation, man. A father lost his life.
Yeah.
Left 2 girls without a father.
We need to keep that in mind.
Tragic situation all the way across the board. But now it's going to be a legal process.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to believe the charges are coming shortly. That I guess it would be the Pinellas Pasco State Attorney's Office.
I guess.
I got to believe the charges are coming sometime soon. Because it looks like a lot of information starting to come out, and when that starts coming out, that tends to indicate that the wheels are moving.
This is going to be a slow process, but, it's hard for people to be patient, right? These people were injured. They need some support in some way. It's completely not their fault that they encountered this event and are now left with, either physical and or emotional, situations.
This Kevin Hazlett looks like an amazing lawyer.
He's a losing politician.
Listen.
Hey, tries to run for Congress, too.
Runs defense attorney. If I ever get in a pickle, he's on my short list. He's a defense attorney. He's doing his.
There are lots of defense attorneys.
You got one right downstairs, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, I see him.
Pelletier right downstairs.
He's the best, supposedly. They say he's the best. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Pelletier downstairs in our building. Supposed to be like top notch.
That's cool.
If you get in a whole lot of trouble,
he's not going to be putting out press releases, with misinformation.
So why is Pelletier in this hellhole of a building?
I don't know.
You know what? Maybe he's not a showboater.
No.
Apparently not. Unlike other showboater attorneys out there. All right, a guy is on a Southwest flight, and he is offered a seat upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so, with Southwest.
Seat upgrades are a new thing with them.
Well, that's coming. I think they're going to maybe introduce certain classes now on Southwest. with the open seating of Group A, B, and C, and hey, grab whatever seat you want, open seating. That's about to change next year. So we know that as of booking flights at the end of May, bags do not fly free on Southwest anymore. Next year, they're going to change the boarding procedure from the Group A, Group B, Group C. That's going away. But this guy gets, I guess, an offer to sit in a big, wide exit row on a Southwest. So listen to this.
That's the upgrade.
Yeah, listen to what happened, because he didn't know what it was. So getting a upgrade or getting a better seat on a plane obviously is exciting, but this happened to a Southwest Airlines passenger when flight attendants saved him what they called a VIP seat. According to the story, which started as something on a Reddit travel post, this man was standing in line on the jetway. So he's on the jet bridge, and he noticed a couple of flight attendants were looking at the waiting passengers, waiting to walk through the door to get onto the airplane, and several made eye contact with him, and they whispered or conferred with each other and then went to the plane. When the passenger got on board, a flight attendant greeted him with a smile and said, "Hey, we've saved you the VIP seat in the emergency row." According to the flight attendant, guy was thrilled. The dude was 6'6", 250 pounds. So here's a whole ton of extra leg room on the Southwest flight. Very appreciative. So he makes his way to the row. Flight attendant is holding his seat so no other passenger can sit there. And then he learned what the real story was, what the catch was. The flight attendant said to the 6'6", 250-pound guy, "You're going to be my ABA for this flight." ABA? What's an ABA?
ABA?
I'm an ABA.
Never heard of that term before.
So he was confused, did not know what the term ABA meant. And then the flight attendant explained that a large drunk man and his also drunk wife were seated 2 rows in front of the exit row, and they were on the previous flight, and they were disruptive enough to make them nervous, but allegedly not disruptive enough to kick them off the plane or ban them from flying. So the ABA stands for able-bodied assistant. That's an ABA in flight attendant and pilot talk. An ABA, able-bodied assistant. So the flight attendants look for a big dude to give this VIP, very good exit row aisle seat to, extra leg room, and you're just going to be my ABA. See those people 2 rows up? They're a little tipsy, and just in case this guy starts any trouble, you're going to be the defensive tackle.
All right, so
essentially.
By the way you described this guy, instantly like Jason Momoa kind of popped into my mind.
Yeah.
Right? Big guy, just muscular but not fat, but who could really handle himself. I would love to have Momoa as my ABA on a flight. Nobody's gonna mess with that guy.
Right.
Yeah. So
or like The Rock, or somebody like that.
The passenger was picked so he could step in just in case there was any trouble. Anyway, the flight went well, apparently, so there was no need for the able-bodied assistant. But if you're a flight attendant and if you have any concern, you have an inebriated couple, why would you even take the chance? And because the flight attendants and the captain, they make the decision. Ultimately, it's the captain, but any flight attendant that goes to the captain and says, "Hey, Cap, last flight, we have this couple. They were drunk. They were loud. I'm not comfortable with them on our flight." The captain can boot them off. No questions asked, because the captain has final say on what goes on with that airplane. So I don't know why they even let the couple on.
There's got to be a threshold.
Yeah.
There's a point where pain in the ass expires,
right?
And now you're kicked off the flight. And if you're just at the cusp of pain in the ass, you're still flying.
Anyway, I thought it was an interesting story. And now you know what an ABA is, able-bodied assistant. 8:53 at the MJ Morning Show. That brings to a close over an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. Oh, more chatter on the expensive grocery stores in Florida. If you missed it, this was like the last item on Friday's show. And I'm seeing it's getting more attention. 3 grocery stores in Florida are on the most expensive grocery store list. So I want to pick that back up. Also, I mentioned the AI disasters. We got an update on the Diddy trial. Got a creepy spy camera story coming up. Oh, what cereal brand? Big cereal brand is discontinuing some of the cereals they make. Oh, this is Cheerios. Which Cheerios are going bye-bye?
About time, dude. Don't get me started with Cheerios.
I got so much crap to do. Tons of stuff. Final hours next. You don't want to miss a minute. All next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105, 104.7 FM. We've got a brand new sponsor that hit the program last week. I want to welcome Miracle Toyota in Haines City in Polk County. Hey, Polk County, got a lot of fans out there. Polk County, whether you're in Winter Haven, whether you're in Lakeland, in Haines City, or Polk County's a big spot. When you're looking for Toyota, you got to go to Miracle Toyota. Every day is a miracle. Miracle Toyota. If you want a great deal, if you want great options, you go to Miracle Toyota. They're right on 27, US 27 in Haines City. So if you're looking for a vehicle and you're looking for Toyota, go ahead and hit Miracle Toyota. Let them know that you're an MJ Morning Show big Polk County fan. So spread some MJ Morning Show love. And this is really cool. With hurricane season underway, if you test drive any vehicle, you can enter to win a free generator. If you buy any Toyota, you will get a free Honda generator. It's all at Miracle Toyota. Miracle Toyota's on US 27 in Haines City. And tell them the MJ Morning Show sent you. Thank you very much. Just had a new air conditioning unit installed in my house from Plan B Air Conditioning. My plan with this one was that it wasn't worth the repair. Completely out of warranty system, and parts would have been ridiculously expensive. And right now, I have a brand new system installed. I have multiple air conditioning zones. So I have now a 10-year warranty on parts on my Daikin. Just had a Daikin air conditioner installed for one of my zones, blowing beautiful cold air, and Plan B Air Conditioning just put this thing in. So very excited about that. If you have a service issue, it's summertime. We're getting these hot, sweltering days. When your air conditioning goes out, folks, you call Plan B Air Conditioning. That's your plan. Plan B AC. 813-PLAN-B-AC, or online, it's planbairconditioning.com. When you want an honest, trustworthy, reliable company that's not going to hose you around, if it's a couple of simple parts and some labor, they're not going to try to sell you a new system for $5,000, $6,000 when it's a couple of $100 repair. You can trust Plan B Air Conditioning like I do at my house. PlanBAirConditioning.com. Mention me, MJ. They'll give you 10% off. PlanBAirConditioning.com. The Holland Group Retirement Wealth Advisors are here to help you navigate your way to and through retirement. Let me start with 2. Are you in your late 40s? Are you in your 50s? Are you looking down the road to retirement? Do you have a plan? So if you're in your 40s, are you saving enough money now? Do you have a great investment strategy to bring investment income in, to build up your cash reserves? The Hollands will build you a plan or give you a second opinion to make sure you're on track to have the retirement you want and not have some kind of nightmare. What about tax planning? Tax planning is essential. A lot of retirees get whacked with taxes in retirement. They didn't have a tax mitigation strategy. Let the Hollands build you the investment plan for investment income every month, the full retirement plan. They'll do it complimentary. Go to their website, askthehollands.com. Get the phone number, call them, tell them MJ sent you. You got to do this, folks. This is no cost to you. This is complimentary. Have the conversation. Go to askthehollands.com. Get the phone number, tell them MJ sent you. Traffic's on 8:58. Let's grab Shriner with the latest MJ Morning Show back in a minute.
We have an
Guess who just called in from a secret location? It is 9:02 at the MJ Morning Show. Brian Stern is on the line from Greybull Rescue, and he knows that whenever they're on some kind of an interesting mission, just call me from the field.
Where is he?
Well, hang on. I don't know if he can tell us just yet. Brian Stern from our local gem of an operation, Greybull Rescue, rescuing Americans all over the globe when they need help and they're trapped or stuck somewhere. I'm going to guess this has something to do with Israel and Iran, Brian.
Hey, I tell you what, MJ, you should switch from doing radio to join the intelligence community. You fit right in. It's great.
All right. So, Brian from Brian Stern, Greybull Rescue. Brian, can you tell us where you are? Or is that sensitive right now?
Sensitive right now just due to everything going on, but what I'll say is I'm a hop, skip, and a jump away from Iranian missile fire is what I'll say. So my team and I are, we've been here for days. We're forward deployed. We got guys, we have people in Israel, we have people in Jordan, we have people in Cyprus, we have people all over the place. We're coordinating efforts. We're coordinating evacuations and rescues of Americans and of Americans from Iranian missile fire here on the ground.
When do you expect to have the first American evacuated? Because I guess the issue is some Americans might not be able to get out. I know that some of the air traffic has been affected as well.
Yeah, the airspace over Israel is closed, which is a good thing, frankly, because the Iranians like to throw things in the sky, and airplanes are allergic to missiles, right? So that's bad.
Absolutely.
So the airspace over Israel remains closed. That's because of Iran. Jordanian airspace is up and down depending on what's going on in the sky, and Lebanon is kind of the same way. They've been up and down too. The way to do these things is by water, by boat from Israel to Cyprus, or by land from Israel into Jordan to an airplane to America.
When do you expect to have your first operation to rescue an American that's trapped?
What I'll tell you is by tomorrow, if you call me tomorrow, we'll have some good news.
Excellent. And can you tell me how many subjects are potentially within your operational scheme right now?
Yeah. So right now we're trending towards. We're at right around 3,000. Just over 3,000 people have asked us for assistance. We've partnered. Greybull has partnered with the state of Florida, Florida Department of Emergency Management. Our good friend State Senator Jay Collins is with us. Who's he's a really good politician, but he's an even better Green Beret. He's out here in the field with us.
Wow.
Actually, we're looking at him right now. So Jay is out here with my crew as we speak.
So Jay Collins took the trip with you.
Correct. I'm looking at his head as I talk to you, MJ.
Wow. Can we talk to Jay for a second?
Hold on one second. Let me see if I can switch over here. Hold on 1 second.
That'd be fantastic. Jay Collins is
Jay Collins, Hillsborough County State Senator, all of South Tampa, all the way up
MJ,
to
you got me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm standing here with State Senator Jay Collins.
Yeah.
Who's not my barber because he has no hair.
What's going on, MJ? How are you doing?
Hey, Jay, it's the MJ Morning Show. We're standing here in our comfy studios in St. Pete, and you're over with Greybull in the Middle East. Wow, what an operation! Thanks for going along.
Oh, I love doing it. Being a retired Green Beret, this is kind of second nature. That's what we do, though. We take care of our people.
And, Greybull, and we've become very friendly. The MJ Morning Show has become very friendly with Greybull over the last, less than a year. We first became aware of Greybull because they helped evacuate people from my South Tampa neighborhood during Helene after, Mike Murphy's house caught on fire from the Tesla, and Greybull helped rescue them at 2 o'clock in the morning with Beach Park 4 feet underwater and no fire and rescue being able to even access our streets. And Greybull came in and got them out as their home literally burned to the ground. So, Jay, thanks for your service to the state of Florida and your local districts right here locally. And thanks for going on the road with Greybull. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no, happy to do it. And, it's a great opportunity here to tie in my skills from the military, to work with good partners, great people over at Greybull, and then to have the state of Florida partner as well and bring in the Florida Department of Emergency Management it's a partnership that's working very, very well. But the fact is, it's all about the people. We got to take care of our people, get them home, and get them out of harm's way.
Right.
It's a blessing to get to be a part of it.
And Michelle, Jay represents our area in Tampa. So, most of this area. So, Jay, thank you very much, and I appreciate you going on the road with Greybull.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right, let's put Brian back. Brian, you there?
Yep, I'm right here.
All right, so Brian, let me know how the operation goes, and hopefully we can hear from you tomorrow. Just shoot me a text to my cell number, and maybe we can get an update tomorrow, and you can tell us about some rescues of Americans caught up in the whole Israel-Iran conflict right now.
Sounds great, MJ. And again, for everyone listening, GreybullRescue.org. We're donor funded. We're partnered with the state, but we need help. We need money. We're doing planes and boats and vans and buses and all kinds of stuff. It all costs money. We need help, and we need help real bad. Real bad.
Folks, again, this is supported by private people like you and me. So if you would like to donate, you never know whether it's you, your family, friends, relatives that might need the help of Greybull Rescue, whether it's on U.S. soil or whether it's on foreign soil. They'll go rescue Americans. So if you can donate, go to GreybullRescue.org. That's GreybullRescue.org, and give them whatever you can, whether it's $5, $10, $50, $100, whatever you can do is highly appreciated. All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow, Brian.
Thanks, MJ. Talk to you guys later.
All right,
Have fun.
bye-bye. You bet. All right, Brian Stern, Greybull Rescue in the Middle East with Florida State Senator Jay Collins right now, who we just had on the phone. Wow. So, Fester, let's pick up. What is that? What are you looking at?
I was just...
Oh, Caitlyn Jenner was stuck?
Yeah, she was in a bomb shelter. While I think 2 days ago there were stories about her drinking wine in a bomb shelter as bombs were hitting.
So Bruce Jenner, now known as Caitlyn Jenner, was rushed to a bomb shelter in Israel because of the barrage of Iranian missiles after the Israelis took out a lot of the Iranian or attacked a lot of the Iranian nuclear missile program.
She has since fled Israel.
Okay.
And I believe she's now in Jordan.
All right. In Jordan wearing Jordache jeans.
Probably.
Oh, whatever. I always thought of Jordan and Jordan. I don't know why. All right. So we did this late in the... Was this the last item we did, the supermarket?
Yes.
It was, you know what? And it felt like it deserved a bigger time slot.
That's why I'm doing it right now. So we don't have to rush it. But what are you laughing at?
No, that's why I'm doing it now.
Well,
You're right.
Exactly.
All right.
So this was like a last item on Friday's show, and I didn't want to give a total short shrift, but a story came out about the 10 most overpriced grocery stores in America, and in Florida, we have 3 on the list. One is a major, Florida-based supermarket. But they made the list. Listen, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just saying that Publix is on the list as being expensive. And while a lot of the BOGOs are really good, sometimes things are expensive. I mean, if you do some price shopping, I've seen things at Walmart a whole lot cheaper than
half sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes prices. And listen, I don't dislike Publix. I like Publix. I go to Publix quite a bit. But there are certain things like I love Halos or Cuties, the Clementines, and they are dollars, sometimes $4 a bag cheaper at Walmart, for instance.
Yeah,
or the eggs, like Michelle loves those Vital Farms eggs, and those things were like $11 a dozen at Publix, and I was paying $5.79 for the same dozen at Walmart for the Vital Farms. They've since gone up to like $6.50 or so, eggs have been climbing again a little bit. But, Publix is on the list, and so is Fresh Market and Whole Foods. And, of course, Fresh Market is a smaller kind of chain. I think they're based out of the Carolinas. And I like Fresh Market. I think Fresh Market has, some good products, so I do enjoy, shopping at Fresh Market. But I know that they are not cheap. It's more of a boutique supermarket, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So a Fresh Market is not cheap. I never assumed that Fresh Market was cheap. And then Whole Foods is on the list as well. And Whole Foods, you got to be careful. Some things are very expensive at Whole Foods. However, if you do have an Amazon Prime membership, there are some things that go on sale. And then if you have Amazon Prime, it's even off of that. So sometimes you can get good prices at Whole Foods, but the point is that according to this original report that I saw from the Takeout, 3 very, very well-known supermarkets in Florida, Publix, Whole Foods, and the Fresh Market, have been named among the most overpriced grocery store chains in America.
Yeah, but to be regulated to shopping at a grocery store only when they're having a sale.
Oh, did you say regulated?
Yeah.
You mean relegated?
Or whichever. So, I shop at Publix. Listen, I'll tell you, I make no bones about it. I shop at Publix, only for sale items.
Right.
Unless there's something
You're a BOGO bozo.
Listen, unless there's something I specifically need.
Say it.
Listen, I think there's a lot
say you're a BOGO bozo.
I refuse to label myself that because I'll tell you right now, MJ, thousands and thousands of your listeners right now are.
Yeah.
Thousands.
Oh, listen,
Tens of thousands.
I look for the BOGOs.
But,
I was at Publix. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Michelle, thank you for being my biscuit bitch yesterday.
Oh, she baked you some biscuits on Father's
Day? Yeah. So, Michelle, they were so freaking good.
All right.
Oh, my God.
The problem is, Fester's this. I make the biscuits, and then we have leftovers. He won't eat the leftover ones.
What?
Yeah.
Are you too good for leftovers?
He is. He's too good for the leftover biscuit.
Listen.
So he has to eat a whole 10 himself because then I have another 10. And also, here's the thing. He likes them really big, and nobody else likes them really big. We all like them normal sized, right? So I have to make 3 different sizes of biscuits.
All right. So if you want to make all small, that's fine. But Michelle's biscuits, she uses the famous Southern Living, our favorite buttermilk biscuit recipe. That's what it's called. And she uses the Southern Living. She uses white lily flour, self-rising, which you got to use white lily.
Why don't you put a video of that on your Instagram instead of you looking around
guess
your
what?
Cacio Pecco or whatever it is?
It's Cacio e Pepe.
Do it again, Fester.
You want to talk about the craziest names in cooking? Everything MJ ate this weekend was wiener related.
That is not true.
Cacio Pepe.
It's Cacio e Pepe. It means cheese and pepper in Italian. Cacio e Pepe.
Right, here's the 3 things.
You're Italian, dude.
Yeah, but here's the 3 things.
It's not
that MJ
Cacio e Pecker.
MJ had
Cacio e Pepe.
It's Cacio e Pepe.
Cacio e penis.
Listen, it's pecorino cheese, right?
Pecorino. Oh, so it's PEC, pecorino, not pecker, PECKER.
And then you ate a couple of big bowls of conch soup.
Conch. It's conch.
I know. Tell me that all day.
I've got my conch stew defrosting in the fridge right now.
Big old conch eater MJ over here.
All right. So mouthful of conch. All right. So here's the deal. I've got 2 videos which I'm waiting for Julian to edit. I've got the conch stew video, and then we also recorded making the Cacio e Pepe on Friday night, and it was fantastic. So I've got 2 Cooking with MJ videos, which will hit my Instagram shortly at Certified MJ Radio. Julian says he promises to have them done today. All right, so watch my Instagram.
I don't know. We're going thrifting.
Watch my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. And then I tried to shoot Michelle doing the buttermilk biscuits yesterday, and she waved me off. So, Michelle, you got to do biscuits again soon because people are all right. Fester, would you like to see Michelle as my biscuit bitch making the best buttermilk biscuits ever?
I would like to see that video a whole lot more than I want to see you making conch stew.
All right.
Yeah.
So we have to do that as well.
Michelle.
So if you don't follow my Instagram, folks, you should because you never know what's going to pop up.
Ooh. Then you can make peach preserves.
Watch my conch pop up.
Whoa, hey now.
On Certified MJ Radio. Hopefully the videos will be up soon. Certified MJ Radio on Instagram. Give me a follow. There was one thing that just got brought up I wanted to bring up.
We're talking about supermarkets being overpriced. You called me a name because you called me Bogo Bozo. That led to Biscuit Bitch. And now we're talking about videos, and I made the conch jokes.
Yeah, I forgot. There was something I wanted to bring up. All right. So I mentioned it'll come to me.
Okay.
So I mentioned AI and how you just can't trust AI. So there was something I was looking up because there was a Michelle. What was the Karen Reed trial? So the Karen Reed trial, which by the way, the jury has the trial.
The jury has the trial.
The jury has the case. So the jury's deliberating. So the jury in the Karen Reed Boston case, which that's garnered a hell of a lot of interest.
Oh, yeah.
The jury has the case right now, and the jury got it, on Friday afternoon?
2:30.
All right. So Friday afternoon. The jury could be back with their verdict on Karen Reed up in Boston or Canton, Massachusetts later today. Or it could happen tomorrow or whatever. I think that they'll have something by the end of the day today. And Michelle, you're convinced that the only way the jury could really go here is probably not guilty. That's what you believe, correct?
I think not guilty. They may want to find her guilty of a DUI because she admitted that.
So one of the instances or one of the stories with a lot of the parties involved, their cell phones disappeared.
A couple of the cops' cell phones disappeared.
So
new numbers, old phones gone.
Right. So
destroyed.
So Michelle, what phones disappeared?
The ATF agent and the Boston police officer whose home the scene of the crime occurred at.
Right. And didn't one of them throw a phone in a dumpster on a military base or something?
Went so far out of his way, took the SIM card out, apparently hammered it, I think, with the I mean, this is what I read. I didn't see this testimony because I think this came out at the last trial, maybe?
This was last trial stuff, and he's like,
Yeah.
it was fully my right to do that.
The point I'm trying to make with AI, and it ties back to this current events case, is that there was another case where cell phones were deliberately lost or not available for law enforcement. And I did a quick search on something to find some of the news stories, and AI produced completely false information, completely erroneous information, and I knew the information was false. So I'm like, we've done a test on the show, Fester. We tested Google AI, 2 months ago, and folks, you cannot 100% count on Google AI or other AI to give you valid information.
No, it's not. At best, it's a smart friend's suggestion.
Yeah, but it's not always 100%. No. You can't take it to the bank.
It's like asking a really intelligent friend a question that could be right. Most likely, they're pretty close to right, but sometimes they're wrong.
So you know what it's called now with AI giving you wrong, erroneous information?
What?
It's called AI slop. And that's a term. And there's a lot of AI slop going around. And I stumbled across, one of my favorite websites is Jalopnik.
Yeah, the car site?
Yeah, it's a great site. It's Jalopnik, just a good site. And they had a whole story. AI slop and YouTube channels are telling AI slop Google about motorcycles that don't exist. So
what?
Some search results from Google AI have come back, and it's telling people about motorcycles that don't even exist. Certain engines, and they were talking about a V4 engine, and I guess it's found primarily in, I think, right these days it's like a Ducati, an Italian Ducati motorcycle. But then Google AI went to say that the Yamaha VMAX V4 utilizes this engine. That's wrong. That's it. It's incorrect. That Yamaha's not made the motorcycle for 5 years with that engine. So you've got, but it's any walk of life. This is a cautionary tale. This is just a warning. Attention. Hello. You cannot count on the AI return being accurate, 100% accurate.
That's right.
And it's going to get people in trouble. Listen, haven't there been stories where judges or lawyers have used Chat GPT or AI to do cases, and it's been completely hasn't AI made up case law in some cases, Michelle? Haven't we heard that?
Oh, yeah. In the legal field, that's a problem.
I mean, AI is just making up legal precedent cases and case law that doesn't even exist, that never happened. So it's called AI slop. And then you have some of the bizarre stories like with Chat GPT. And this dude was on, I guess, Chat GPT was dealing with an AI chatbot. Eugene Torres, 42 years old, an accountant, started using the chatbot last year to make spreadsheets and get legal advice. Last month, he started asking the product about the simulation theory. Similar to the Matrix, the whole simulation theory. So if you're a Matrix fan, you know what that's all about. And The AI sent him into a delusional spiral that culminated in him confronting the chat AI product, and he confronts the AI saying, no, that's not correct, that's wrong. The AI in the chat encouraged him to jump from a 19-story building to prove that he could actually bend reality and essentially enter the matrix.
Okay.
The chat AI, I think it was Chat GPT, told him to jump out of a 19-story building, his office. What?
Did he do it?
He did. And luckily, he hit the garden just 2 floors down. There was like a little balcony terrace, and he ended up in a rhododendron.
Did he bounce off
No,
one
no,
of those
he
trampoline lanais?
he did not jump off the 19-story building. But, we've had these stories of AI telling people to do bizarre stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We've had like some of these chat robots telling people to kill themselves.
There was like an AI therapist where you would talk to it and it would respond back to you.
Yeah, we had something a couple of months ago on this.
Like for mental health issues.
Yeah.
You
Right.
explain your situation. It would give you some strategies. You would talk back. It would give you other things you can do. And then finally it's like, just kill yourself.
Yeah.
And
All right.
I mean, like,
Folks,
don't do
I'm
that.
telling you, AI, we know it's problematic. It's going to eliminate jobs. Stop it now, or there has to be like really serious controls on AI. The experts, a lot of experts in the field are calling for like a 6-month pause.
I mean, listen,
to establish at least guidelines, protocol.
we used AI last week to come up with some pretty funny songs.
Yeah.
And I
But
think
guess what?
that kind of AI I think is kind of cute.
That's not going to destroy humanity.
No,
all right,
it's not.
Well,
it's not. But
coming up with crazy AI songs. All right, 9:23 at the MJ Morning Show. We got to take our break here. Final chunk is next. Diddy update. Oh, guess who showed up? Guess who showed up to the Diddy trial on Friday, but they wouldn't let him in? This is funny. Guess who showed up? We'll tell you next. Also, I got a creep with hidden cameras. Oh, a Cheerios product, like I said, is going away. Yeah, some people are very, very upset. I'm looking at, we got a lot of stuff here. All right. Oh, I know what I forgot. I know what it was. The latest Ozempic side effect. We've had 10 different side effects in the last couple of months on Ozempic and the other GLP-1 drugs. Guess what the latest is? Oh, you got to hear this. This might have people running. No, to the product, not away from it.
Okay.
All right, hang on. Back in a second. Don't miss all this crap. Next, MJ Morning Show on Q105. 104.7 FM. You better hurry because the Zero Res 15% off sale only has a couple of weeks left. Today is the 16th, so you got 2 weeks left or so in the month. Hurry. Get your carpets clean from Zero Res, 15% off. Get your tile and grout clean from Zero Res, 15% off. Get your air ducts cleaned. If you want professional air duct cleaning, 15% off. It's Zero Res. Zero Res stands for zero residue. Other carpet cleaning companies leave a residue behind because their process uses heavy soaps and shampoos and chemicals. Not with Zero Res. They use Zero Water. Zero Water is an electrolyzed water process. It's patented by the U.S. Patent Office, and it gets your carpets cleaner. They stay cleaner longer. Everything at Zero Res right now through the month of June, 15% off. You got to tell them MJ sent you. Go to their website, ZeroResTampaBay.com. ZeroResTampaBay.com. Go to their website. You can call them up on the phone, get the phone number, or you can book online. But you got to tell them MJ sent you to get 15% off. ZeroResTampaBay.com. Final check on traffic at 9:26. Here's Shriner, MJ Morning Show, back in mere moments.
On I-4 westbound.
called "Welcome to the Boomtown."
David and David.
Yeah.
Sounds like a couple that bought the condo.
It's a late '80s deal. So that was my bumper music for Michelle. How are your headphones? So you're now
They're
what?
better.
So are you happy? Are we going to keep them, or I got to return them to Whole Foods Amazon return desk?
I'm gonna try them out for a couple days.
have
we'll
you
see.
have you seen that zoo? Have you seen the Amazon return desk at Whole Foods?
No.
My God, the line is sometimes blocking the self-check. It's like all the way down the corridor. Sometimes the line of people, all I can say is thank God we're not like rampant Amazon returners.
Oh, dude, that's all we do. We have 2 package tables, 1 for incoming packages, 2 for returns.
Are you serious?
Yeah, my wife knows the UPS store person.
Yeah, but you don't always.
Well, we live near a UPS store.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so the UPS store is most convenient for us.
You know, there are like 3 different options sometimes. Sometimes when you have an Amazon return, they'll tell you to discard the product and you'll get a credit.
Yes.
Other times you either like print up a return label and drop it off at a UPS store,
right.
Or if you have a Whole Foods near you, you can drop the item off at the Whole Foods, because they have I've seen the line like crazy long at Whole Foods with people holding on to their Amazon boxes, all this crap they ordered that they're bringing back. And, we don't return a lot. Do we have anything to return now?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think we have anything. I try not to use Amazon, but, because a lot of times Amazon has the best price, but a lot of times Amazon does not.
So here's the
So
deal.
you have to shop and see. But like the headphones, I just bought Michelle because she hated my old, Vice big like aircraft clamp-on headphones. So I got Michelle these nice soft padded ultra light Sennheiser closed ears. If anyone wants to know, it's the HD 280, I believe.
Oh, they all want to know. I've
Yeah.
been getting texts all morning.
I'm
what
sure you
kind
have.
of headphones?
Come on, don't be a wise ass.
But you take your stuff to Ups.
Does Allison like
So
how many?
she knows the guy.
What percentage of Allison's Amazon purchases does she return?
65%.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
she's gonna she's gonna get
I
banned.
mean, let's talk about this tomorrow
Because
and
I
do a
think
bigger segment on it.
there are chronic returners that I think that Amazon says no thanks.
Dude,
We don't want you.
I know a guy who'll buy something and then return the completely wrong product.
What?
Like, let's say he buys a new computer monitor.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
He'll return the monitor off of his desk. Like the old monitor,
Oh,
he'll return it.
that's fraud.
Yeah, you buy pillows. Who's going to get you? Amazon police? You're going to be put in Bezos jail?
No, because
what's going to happen? There's no repercussions.
When you're they can charge you. Because when your item gets back to the center that processes the returns,
Dude, there's so many, they don't have time.
you don't even think they look. They just scan the barcode and throw it in a pile. They don't even look to see if you returned the right thing.
Do you know where I went this weekend for the first time?
So wait a minute. I can order a huge Sony TV.
Yes. And return the one that's currently on your wall, assuming it's the same size and it fits in the box.
Right.
And you'll never hear from them again.
Oh, so I can't buy a Sony TV, initiate a return, keep the TV, and return like some broccoli.
No, I mean he at least keeps it in the same family of items.
All right.
Yeah.
Like let's say you get a new bedspread, new pillows.
Right.
Right? Just
Yeah.
bundle up the old one. Send it back. They'll never know.
Oh.
This weekend I went to one of those bin stores. Have you been to a bin store?
No, what is that?
Those are the ones that get refilled like once a week. New
Yeah.
stuff comes in.
And every day,
Like
and
hot bins.
Yeah,
Or,
I thought of Julian. 'Cause
Yeah.
they like get their deliveries like on Thursday. Then like everything's like one price on Friday, and subsequent days it becomes cheaper and cheaper until all the inventory is gone.
Yeah.
And then they load up with new crap. But I thought of Julian because he's always looking for unique, inexpensive things for props.
Yeah, where's
and
one?
If you look around, they're all over town. I mean,
It's just called Bin Store. I can Google that.
look
this-
up hot bins or bin store.
yeah,
or
there's one called Crap Fest.
look up Amazon bin store at Tampa or say whatever city you're in, and you'll see there's one probably closer than you think.
There's one called Schlit Bucket.
Yeah.
So wait, so you went?
And it was overwhelming. It was too much stuff.
You
And
didn't see any of Allison's returns in the piles?
You know what? You could have, because a lot of the things were in unmarked boxes.
Yeah, people love these places because you can sometimes get some really good stuff.
Yeah. But then there's like brown boxes that you couldn't open. You couldn't open the box because then
Right.
it's opened. but you didn't know what was inside. And Allison's like, how
Well,
can
you
I
just
know?
you just buy a box of just like a potluck.
There are flaws in the concept, but
Okay.
I thought of Julie. I'm like,
Yeah.
he would
Hold
love
on.
this place.
You endorsed one of these places. Is that still around?
Yeah, the place that I did
You-
the commercial
you
for
endorsed
was in
the-
Gibsonton. It was called Black Friday Deals or something like that in Gibsonton, and that was the first one I've ever been to as a sponsor. But I don't make it out to Gibsonton very often.
You sure it wasn't called the Carney Cave?
It could have been the Carney Cave. Well, that'd have been a better name for it.
The Carney Cave in Gibsonton. Anyway, I mentioned Ozempic, and I think that might have been the thing that I meant to mention that I couldn't remember. We've had multiple stories about Ozempic side effects. So we had Ozempic lips. We had Ozempic eyes. So Ozempic lips were doing something to people's lips. Ozempic eyes, I think.
Your eyes looked sunken in
Yeah.
because all the fat on your face was gone.
Then there was Ozempic feet, and people were getting like wrinkly, pruny looking feet. Well, listen to this one, and maybe some guys are happy with this. Now there are reports that Ozempic is increasing guys' wang sizes.
No.
Michelle, I tell you what. Go on Google.
Nope,
Nope,
I'm not
no,
doing that.
go-
I'm not searching for big wieners.
Hey, Michelle,
Just type in
listen to me.
medium.
Michelle.
Or does Ozempic make your wiener big?
Hold on. Go to Google right now. I swear.
No,
Michelle,
you do it.
I
Fester
want,
can
you,
do it.
You can do it faster. I want you to tell me the sources that exist. Go to Google.
All right.
Michelle, this is scientific, all right?
No, I don't believe you.
Are you on Google? Go to Google. Let me know when you're. All right. Type in Ozempic making penis larger. Just type in that and tell me what stories. Tell me what sources come up right off the bat.
AI.
No, I don't want AI. Look for the news stories below.
Scroll down a little bit.
Average penis size has increased, and Ozempic could blah 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 from New York Post.
New York Post.
Okay.
First story that pops up is New York Post.
No.
How many dudes are they measuring to get an average
Stop.
size?
This is the thing. Why would the penis look larger?
Because you're losing all kinds of belly fat and
Yeah.
stomach fat that, wow, I can see it now.
It's an illusion.
As a fat guy for, several decades now, there's always been a thing. If you lose 30 or 40 pounds, there's less chubbiness in that area,
Right.
which might make something appear larger, which is the exact reason why I don't lose weight. Because it's, I can't afford any more.
Oh, Fester.
I got my hands full as it is. But, MJ, this is old fat people lore. This is clickbait because they know Ozempic is something that gets clicks and wieners get clicks. So you put two super clickers next to each other in one headline, and it's probably the biggest thing on their website today.
Yeah.
Because that's a fresh story, right? That's last couple of days.
Well, the New York Post has it from June 8th. But any other subsequent article that, like Very Well Health, it says weight loss from Ozempic may make the penis appear larger by reducing fat around the pubic area.
Because it's already there. I
Right.
mean, if you think, oh my gosh, look at these, look at all this. It's been there all along.
It's like remember the Debbie Gibson song? I Get Lost in Your Pants? You remember that? So, Fester, you don't subscribe that it gets lost in your fat. See, you hear that? I Get Lost. It's Debbie Gibson. You remember that song? You remember that?
I'm not going to argue if it does or doesn't. I'm just saying I have no desire for any more than I got because I already have my hands full. You know what I mean?
What? What? Belly fat and handles? I don't need to know anything else.
Little more south.
That's enough.
Donuts?
A little more south.
Oh, hang on. We got a caller. Tiffany in Lakeland is on the line, and this is not about Ozempic Wang talk.
Okay.
She did returns for Amazon. I want to hear this. Tiffany in Lakeland went from Debbie Gibson to now to Tiffany. Tiffany, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
All right, so you did Amazon returns?
Yes, I did.
What can you tell us?
Well, Amazon does check everything in the boxes. They make you open it up. It shows a picture on the screen, and you have to check it for if there's any flaws or if it's not the right thing in the package. They send it to the fraud department, and you cannot ever order from Amazon again.
Yeah, they ban you for life. So what kind of crap did you see people try to pull off?
Oh, my gosh, there's all kinds of stuff. We had from like people would send back dirty vacuum cleaners to like containers with dog food that were supposed to be for dog food that had like poop in it. We had one person that returned you know how you bury someone with their ashes. We had to return that because they no longer needed it. So it was just a bunch of stuff. But they do have a returns department that you have to look for everything and like you have to make sure that there's like no hair or anything on it. The bedspread, you have to make sure everything is. So they do examine all the returns from Amazon.
So did you work at like a Whole Foods in Lakeland, or did you work like in an Amazon warehouse processing returns?
I worked in an Amazon warehouse in Illinois.
Oh, in Illinois. And that's where a lot of the returns went?
Yes.
And what happened if an item was like unused, or let's say like the inner plastic wrapping was not, did that go back to get restocked to sell again, or how were items checked?
It depends, because like if you had clothing and you found like hair on the clothing, they would defect it and they just threw it in the garbage. And then there was some things that like baby diapers, you couldn't redo those, so those would go. But then there was some things that they put on pallets, like the people that buy the stuff for the bin stores, they buy that kind of stuff from Amazon that maybe not had a box or something that just had a little flaw with it.
Because I know that we've talked about this. You can buy pallets of like Amazon returns.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, and it's like a surprise grab bag, and you pay
you don't know what's in there.
Yeah, you pay like $800 for the pallet. You could end up with thousands worth of merchandise, and you never know.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. But yes, we did have to open up. We did have to open up every package, and if we found something in your package that was what you didn't think it was, which happened many times, we had to send it to the fraud department, and the fraud department investigated, and you did get in trouble for that.
So Tiffany, you're telling me that some people would return a dog product with dog poop in it?
Yes.
Oh my God.
They would return like potty chairs from like kids, with urine in it and stuff.
Hold on, like a baby potty training chair, they'd return it with stuff in it?
Yes.
Oh
yes.
my
They would return all kinds of nasty stuff. So it was nasty, but you did it, and you just that's the kind of stuff you threw away if it didn't have a box.
Did you notice, last question, did you notice any pattern? Was there anything that got returned the most, like any particular item that, here's another one of these, was there, or is it really just spread all over the place?
It's spread all over the place because you also had packages that like were non-deliverable. So those came in and they were never delivered to the person. Maybe they just canceled it or whatever, and those were all in like little envelopes, and you open up the envelopes and you never knew what you were going to get.
All right, so those were brand new items that then could totally be restocked, right?
Yes. So Amazon does, and if you go on the Amazon webpage when you order from them, you can look up the stuff that has like that has like been restocked and that they're reselling at a cheaper price. You can look it up on the Amazon website that way as well.
Gotcha. Hey, good call, Tiffany. Thanks for phoning in. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
See, that's an example of I didn't ask for anyone to call, but you're always welcome to call. And if you can add to the show, add to the conversation. I love taking unsolicited phone calls, and you're always welcome. If something triggers a memory or you've got information, please call us. Whenever. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047 gets you in. Same deal with my email. If you ever have any hot tip, gossip, anything you want to make sure that I know about. If you want to stay anonymous, just say, hey, I want to remain anonymous, but here's a really good piece of information. You can always email me, mj@mjmorningshow.com. That's mj@mjmorningshow.com. All right, first, did you see who showed up at the Diddy trial on Friday, but they wouldn't let him in?
No, I didn't know there was an overflow courtroom.
Yeah. Oh, of course there is.
I didn't know. I'm sorry. Okay.
Well, in most high-profile cases, there's only a limited number of seats, and a lot of times it's like first come, first serve, or it's a lottery, or you got to pick a number in the morning. But for high-profile trials, there's only a certain number of in-courtroom gallery seats that are available. And in most of these high-profile trials, there's a whole overflow room, a lot of like a media room where they have the trial piped in and media and overflow. So guess who shows up at Diddy's trial and was not allowed in? Barred from entering the main courtroom.
Who?
Kanye. That's all I need. I need a circus visiting the circus. That's circus on circus.
He would have been a distraction. Nothing tells me he would have sat there quietly and just watched the proceedings.
Right.
And he's wearing like this all white outfit, like he's working in a sanitarium or something.
Well, you remember
A
Diddy.
sanitarium or sanatorium? What?
Or he's going to one of those white parties.
Yeah, you remember Diddy. He was known for those white. He made white parties hip for a couple of minutes.
Or wait a sec. Or Kanye just took a break from his good humor truck route. He might have been remember the old good humor guys in all white outfits?
Kanye got a new job as a Maytag repairman.
There you go.
Yeah, all white.
What did they wear all white? I'm trying to remember.
They sat there all bored all day.
All right. So Kanye shows up at the Diddy courtroom, made an appearance on Friday morning, trying to show his solidarity with the Bad Boy Records guy. And no, the Maytag guy wore a blue uniform.
No,
dude.
he didn't.
Yes,
he was
he
in
did.
all white.
It was a blue uniform. Go look it up. Maytag guy didn't wear all white.
Hold on, I don't believe you.
He wore
Maytag repairman.
Maytag repairman.
Oh, he did wear blue.
It's all blue. Look at this.
Right.
Look, Google Images has everything. You find me the Maytag repairman in a white outfit.
I guess I screwed that joke.
Yeah,
up.
you did. Anyway, so Kanye was turned away, could not go into the main courtroom. So, interesting.
Maybe he goes back today wearing all blue, and I could resurrect.
Hey, Michelle, talk for a second. I'm getting a call again.
Yeah, it's fine. I took care of it. You keep doing your job. I already took care of it.
Michelle already took care of whatever you're getting a phone call on. Apparently, he's really not. He's really not stopping.
Okay, yeah. All right. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, listen. There's nothing that tells me Kanye would have just sat there and have been quiet during the whole thing.
No, he would have had some kind of an outburst, or maybe try to get up close to Diddy, and that would have not been kosher with the judge.
No, that would have been kosher at all. So MJ.
They want to know if they need to dispatch the police. So it was an accidental door open, Michelle?
Of course.
I know. You don't.
Oh, my gosh.
To call the cops and send the police.
Geez.
No need.
Okay. I mean, honestly.
Accidental door open? What do
yes,
you Fort Knox
just,
or something?
No, we have a guest and she opened the door, so the alarm went off. That's all.
Great.
Yeah.
But did the alarm company call you?
No.
Well,
everybody else did.
But I had to tell the alarm company.
It's quick.
Not to
Don't
send the
dispatch
cops.
the police. Here's my code. Boom. Hang the.
Right.
It doesn't need to take 2 minutes.
You told me not to even worry about it. You took care of it.
You take so long to take care of the things that could take 30 seconds.
The cops were going to be sent.
Not if you give them a code quicker.
I did. You told me forget it. Don't hang up. You wanted me to hang up on them. The cops were going to show up at the house.
All you got to do is say your code.
All right. So what? Your sister opened up the back door?
Yes.
Yeah. Michelle's sister is just popped in on us. Just a big burden.
Okay.
And now she set off the alarm. What else? Is she going to cook breakfast and catch the kitchen on fire next?
Hopefully.
Yeah, with that attitude, you bet. You're gonna come back to a bunch of cinders, and you're going to be like, no, don't send the fire department.
That's right. All right. Speaking of breakfast, oh, boy, there are going to be some really ticked off people.
Really? Because I'm looking at their website, and they have like 24 flavors.
I had no idea that there were Cheerios beyond regular Cheerios and Honey Nut Cheerios.
According to their website, there's 24 different kinds.
I'm shocked at this information. I had no idea that Cheerios had this many. Michelle, did you know that there were any Cheerios outside of the regular original Cheerios and Honey Nut Cheerios?
No.
It is
Don't tempt my tummy with the taste of nuts and honey.
Listen, it is uncomfortable to go down the Cheerio cereal aisle, the cereal aisle where the Cheerios are, and to look at all the brands. Because, there's original Cheerios, and then there were always Honey Nut Cheerios.
Yeah, those are the only ones. Right. The original and Honey Nut, that's the only thing I've ever heard of.
Then they came out with, like, Frosted Cheerios, which are super good, a little bit sweeter.
Yeah. I have had the chocolate ones, but that's it.
I haven't had those. When did you have chocolate Cheerios? Something like
20 years ago.
All right.
But apple cinnamon Cheerios, chocolate Cheerios.
It's gonna tempt your tummy with a taste of nuts and honey. It's a honey of it all. It's Honey Nut Cheerios.
Well, apparently there are 23 others. So if you're a fan of these Cheerios flavors, you're screwed. Honey Nut Cheerios Medley Crunch. Gone.
What the hell is that?
Chocolate Peanut Butter Cheerios.
Yeah,
gone.
It does sound good.
Honey Nut Cheerios Minis. Gone. Wait a minute. They make a smaller Cheerio? That it already is small. What is it, the size of a BB? What is it?
Yeah.
What is it?
That's exactly what it is.
It's so instead of a normal little Cheerio, which is smaller than a penny, we're gonna make it little minis. It's the size of a grain of sand. It's like, imagine a beach filled with Cheerios.
That's exactly
Just
what it is.
have just a whole handful of mini Cheerios sift through your fingers. That's like it's the size of grains of
You
sand.
can buy like 40 boxes of it and lay out in the backyard.
Oh my!
Yeah, so General Mills has like the mini series of their cereals where you can buy like microscopic pieces.
I have no idea what they. You need a microscope to see it. So those Honey Nut Cheerios Medley Crunch, Chocolate Peanut Butter Cheerios, and Honey Nut Cheerios Minis are going away. And I only thought there were 2 Cheerios. I had no idea there were 24 results on the Cheerios website.
Unbelievable. All these different brands. Who buys all this stuff?
I don't know.
I mean, who's dying to buy
Look at this.
chocolate
I know-
strawberry
look at-
Cheerios?
Cheerios taste like ass. I had no idea they made that. Taste like ass.
It's called Ass Cheerios.
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 Cheerios. I had no idea. 24?
Yeah, different flavors.
Listen, most stores don't care. There's not enough shelf space for 24 different flavors of Cheerios.
Next time you go to Club Pub, walk down the cereal aisle, and you'll see 10 of them. You'll see 12 of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no, don't you tempt my tummy with the taste of nuts and honey.
It's gonna tempt your tummy with a taste of nuts and honey. It's a honey of it all. It's Honey Nut Cheerios.
Apparently, some people are calling the suicide prevention hotline over this.
What a great jingle that was.
That was a
It
good
really
jingle.
was a great jingle.
Yeah.
It's gonna tempt your tummy with a taste of nuts and honey. It's a honey of it all. It's Honey Nut Cheerios.
You know, what happened to jingles? I mean, jingles are, I still love a good jingle. And it seems like they just don't use jingle. You know who's using jingles is like songs for like the pharmaceutical companies.
It's not even jingles. They're just taking hit songs and turning it into like parody. Or
No, there's some original stuff, you know, that I see pop up for all the drug manufacturers. All right, 9:52 at the MJ Morning Show. I'll save this. I got a lot of stuff we got to save for tomorrow. And I got a whole show. I mean, literally, I want you to see. This is just, I'm holding this up to MJTV. That's just a fraction of what's left over. So, are you meaning me?
That's so much. Whole show.
Is there anything that we didn't get to that is absolutely must hit right now that we need to get it on now for, shelf life, for spoilage? Michelle, anything I miss?
I don't
anything
believe
crucial?
so. No.
You didn't jot down any notes of things that we had to talk about today? Monday, first day back after the weekend?
I did not.
All right, well, with that, I guess we're going to call it a day at 9:53 at the MJ Morning Show. All right, folks, have a great Monday. Michelle and I are off to work out at the gym.
Ooh.
And scold Michelle's sister for setting off our alarm.
Come on, Mandy. What the hell are you doing?
Did Julian turn it off, I would assume?
I'm sure he did.
All right, because that's loud inside, man.
Mm-hmm.
And she's lucky that she didn't get tased, because I've got the tasers, and also we have parts of the house that darts go off. Yeah, like it was like an Indiana Jones deal. We gotta roll, folks. We'll see you back here tomorrow on the MJ Morning Show on Q105, 104.7 FM. Have a fantastic day, and let's be careful out there.
The Q105 app is your connection to all the big contests, powered by Anajar and